Well. I must admit, guys, that was embarrassing. No, not the Pacers' performance tonight. I mean, hell, that was also embarrassing. But what I'm referring to as me, who came on here 2 nights ago, proclaimed Tyrese Haliburton to be a superstar. And now I'm just going to have to come on here tonight and flip flop it all the way back and just bury Tyrese Haliburton because he may have had a superstar turning performance in the last game, but this is a superstar revoking performance this game. Superstars do not drop triple singles in potential closeout games. There's no surprise, in my estimation, that the Knicks won this game. I thought the game hinged tonight on Karl Anthony Towns' availability or lack thereof. I've been saying it for 48 hours. He was cleared before tip-off of tonight's game. Not only did he play, he was big time tonight, especially early, but really for the game. 24 points, 11 rebounds for him, showing really no ill effect of the knee, at least in his impact on this game. His plus 26 tonight led either team for the night. He had the best plus minus in this game, just making winning plays. Big game from him. So obviously we got the answer. We got it early on about that knee and about his availability and health. And it was a really positive answer by him early in the game. And, he maintained that level throughout. Brunson, again, a very good game from him. 32 points tonight, 12 of 18 from the field, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. And really those two guys have been huge in there, mostly in all of their wins. They were big tonight. They stave off elimination at home. Likely no surprise once we got the Karl Anthony Towns news before. They were 4.5-point favorites going in. And look, after game one, I thought Pacers in 6. It looks like it shall be so as the series now shifts back to Indiana for them potentially now to close it out on Saturday night at 8 p.m. Like I said, really no surprises in this game and no shame necessarily in Indiana losing this game, just in the way that they played. An absolute abysmal performance by them, pretty much from the top on down. Literally no one played well in this game for the Pacers. I guess maybe outside of Benedict Mathurin, who had 23 points for the Knicks off of their bench, and Toppin off of their bench as well with 11. Those were 2 of the 3 Pacers in double digits tonight. So we talk a lot about the Pacers' depth throughout the course of these Skap live streams after these games throughout this postseason. They had 7. I think the Pacers had 7 players averaging in double digits during the regular season, 6 players averaging in double digits during these playoffs. Did not get that, varied scoring output tonight from especially not their starters. The starters were abysmal, heinous. It just has to be said. Pascal Siakam leads the way for the Indiana Pacers tonight from the starting unit. 5 of 13 shooting for 15 points. That was the highest scoring Indiana Pacers starter on the night. And oh my goodness, Tyrese Haliburton, on the heels of that insane all-time game for the ages, literally a one-of-a-kind line for him in the last game. And my goodness gracious, he just absolutely reversed it and revoked that superstar status that I bestowed upon him just last game, just less than 48 hours ago. I'm out here, going to bat for this guy, declaring him a top 10 player in the NBA, making myself look like a damn fool right now is what I've done, because Tyrese Haliburton laid an egg tonight in epic fashion, along with a poo-poo in his pants. Guys, this is hard to believe. 8 points for Haliburton, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds on 2 of 7. I can't even bear to even look at this line. This guy led them in rebounds last game with 12. He had more assists than the entire team combined with 15, and he had 32. That's 32, 15, and 12 just less than 48 hours ago. That the third player ever with such a line in NBA playoff history, joining Oscar Robertson and Nikola Jokic. Is that any good? That company. And then when you throw in his 0 turnovers last game to go along with that line, it becomes the first such line ever. And now he follows that up with a triple single. Just an absolutely unbelievable, an unbelievably bad performance by him tonight. 8 points, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds on 2 of 7 shooting in 32 minutes. Nearly a team worst, minus 23. Nimhard was at minus 25, and Toppin was minus 26. So marginally worse for those two guys, but just an all-around terrible, superstar revoking kind of a performance from Tyrese Haliburton. Because look, superstars do not vanish to that degree in these kinds of games. They just don't. I mean, I guess if you want to count little game James Larden as a superstar at any point of his any point in time in his career, then potentially we can still go ahead and bestow the superstar status upon Tyrese Haliburton in the same vein that I guess little game Jimbo was ever a true all-star or superstar, because this game was kind of James Harden like. You just don't see, at least, look, even if a superstar is struggling with the shot, first of all, just 7 shots, but even if they're struggling with the shot, do other things. Incorporate, this guy is like the main setup man, only 6 assists from him tonight. And, 2 rebounds. He plays no defense to begin with, so it's not like he can chip in or add any kind of an element on the defensive side of the ball. So this just a terrible, terrible game for Haliburton. Now, look, I still have seen not much to make me think. After game 1, I proclaimed that despite the fact I had the Knicks in 7 at the start of the series, I was flip-flopping after seeing game 1 to Pacers in 6. I think that's easy money right now. Pacers to go home to Indiana and close this thing out on Saturday night. So nothing has made me veer from that. So I think the Pacers will ultimately be just fine. But this is a really, really bad way. Like, losing, no biggie. Losing like this, I mean, they were down by 20 multiple times throughout the game. They kind of hung around it. They would vacillate from, like, they'd be down 21 1 minute. Then, like, 3 minutes later, they're down 10. Then it's back up to 20. And it just kind of bounced back and forth. But at no point and no time throughout the course of this game did you ever get the sense that they were ever going to mount any kind of a serious or sustained fight to get back in this. You right off the top, we will be getting to your guys' questions and comments, but I was just looking at the chat while I was waiting to hit that live button, and I saw Stephanie. Shout out to Stephanie, a regular here in the lounge, who was in with a comment early on, right before I clicked that live button, that Lester is going to have to wait. Lester's banana, of course, who was obsessed with me eating a banana on this live stream and has been trying to find various different tools or ways to make me do it. Tried to make it happen with if the Nuggets won the series against Oklahoma City. Then he kind of pivoted to if the Pacers win. So he's been eagerly and feverishly awaiting me in some way, shape, or form to eat a banana on this live stream. And to Stephanie's point, Lester, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Not so fast. They're still the Pacers still need to get one. I believe they will on Saturday night. And I think all of the players led by Tyrese Haliburton will look much better at home. Hopefully, look, Indiana, they need to get Tyrese Haliburton's father back in the arena like stat. In fact, they should go find him now. Just have him like sleep over in the arena and just so he's there and ready at tip-off, because, Haliburton's dad was staying away from the games for a while after the Giannis Antetokounmpo incident. In case any of you do not recall, it happened all the way back in the first round when the Indiana Pacers eliminated the Milwaukee Bucks from the playoffs on that crazy, furious last-second comeback, culminating with Tyrese Haliburton getting his own offensive rebound off of his own missed free throw, backing it out, drilling the walk-off game winner on Milwaukee. And Giannis is basically just trying to get off the damn floor. get to the locker room, and this crazed, moronic fan runs onto the court, gets in Giannis's face, and starts like Antetokounmpo starts mixing up with his fan. Come to find out, it was Tyrese Haliburton's father. So he's been avoiding the games since that incident. He was back in the arena, though, for Haliburton's historic, heroic performance 2 days ago that I referenced on the lead in here. So we need to, Indiana needs to make sure that they get Haliburton's dad in the arena, get him right there, probably behind the bench, ready for tip-off. And I do expect Indiana and Haliburton, I expect all of those role players to play markedly better. All of the other role players, like where were the starters tonight to round out the starting five tonight? Like I said, Siakam leads the way, 15 points on 5 of 13. Naismith, do you remember that game where Naismith was just stroking threes in the fourth quarter to propel them all the way back? That being game one, where I think he had 20 or 23 points in the fourth quarter. He had like 5 3-pointers in the last 3 or 4 minutes, it felt like, in that game. Tonight, I think he had 29 or 30 in that game. Tonight, 3 points on 1 of 8 shooting for him. Miles Turner, 5 points on 2 of 3. Nembhard, 6 points on 3 of 8. Of course, we already touched on Haliburton, 8 points on 2 of 7. You're not going to win many games when your starting lineup puts that output out. I mean, Gary, welcome into moderator, Gary, by the way. My simple mathematics, as always, is very lousy. I'm doing this very quickly. 16, let's make it 22, and roughly 37 points. You can fact check me in the lounge, in the live chat, in the lounge area here. But I'm pretty sure my quick math there says 37 points for the entire starting lineup of the Indiana Pacers. Again, just last game, Haliburton had 32 points by himself. So absolute pathetic display for them. And the Knicks, well, what can I say? Live to fight another day. I know we've got some Knick faithful in here, probably excitingly celebrating their Knicks survival. But again, too little, too late, in my opinion. The Knicks, the series was blown in game one. Actually, I think it was blown in game one for sure. It was definitively lost in game two when they lost the second game at home to open the series. So to me, it is but a formality, but just a little bit of timing here, a matter of timing. And here we go. It will be, I believe, Saturday night that the Pacers will officially punch their ticket to the NBA Finals to join the Oklahoma City Thunder, who will be presumptively humongous favorites in that. I wouldn't really be surprised to see maybe the Pacers get one there, but probably winning by if the Thunder win every game, they win all 4 games by double digits. That would not surprise me in the least. I was speaking of the Knicks fans in the lounge here. So I just saw this one pop up. So I have to throw our main guy, Cusmo Jimbo, up here. Bro, what's up? Welcome to the lounge. Congratulations to your Knicks. It would have been sad as hell to see them go out in the Garden like that in 5. So I am glad that the Cat came. And look, Karl Anthony Towns, I do just want to talk about him for a second. And then moderator Gary, welcome to you. You can read Cusmo Jimbo's super chat here. And Cusmo, thank you so much again for your continued support for us in the lounge. But Karl Anthony Towns gets so much slander routinely. Like the Mavericks, the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't want him. They were rejoicing and celebrating when they dumped him in the summer for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. I mean, what did Karl Anthony Towns look? The guy's not a terrific defender, but he is a perennial all-star. He is an extremely skilled. He's like 7'1"-ish, extremely skilled shooter at that size. And I mean, he can put the ball on the ground as well. He can drive you to the basket. He's got a legitimate back to the basket post game. The guy offensively, from the center standpoint, plays the game at about as skilled a level as any big in the NBA today. And I think he actually does. He's not a terrific defender, He lacks foot speed in my estimation, but he does work. I think he tries on that end of the ball. So like, I don't really understand what the hatred is surrounding Karl Anthony Towns in general. Like, I just don't get it. I think, like I said, he's a perennial all-star. He leaves Minnesota, where he made multiple all-star appearances, comes to New York in year one with New York. He's an all-star and all NBA third team this year. And he's been fantastic in these playoffs. And, I think that knee injury looked like a legit injury. I was concerned about the way he was going to come out and be able to perform tonight on that knee. So, and he came out and played terrific tonight, 24-11. And like I said, led the way for the whole team, for both teams in plus minus tonight. Just a fantastic game from Cat. So, I was happy to see him have that kind of a performance under these conditions that he was facing tonight. Hopefully, I doubt it, but hopefully it will silence some of his detractors and haters for at least 48 more hours, I guess, until they might lose to Indiana. But no need to think about that game right at the moment, especially if you're a New York Knicks fan like Cusmo Jimbo here. Just celebrate, live in the moment. Live where your feet are, so to speak. Enjoy your Knicks survival. Congratulations to you, Cusmo Jimbo. Gary, what does Cusmo have for us?
And just for the record, who did I say on our last broadcast would win this game, Skap, if I remember correctly?
Oh, the Knicks, and I didn't discount that at all.
No, I'm not saying you did. I'm just talking about.
I was questioning the veracity of Towns' knee.
No, I know.
And the structurality.
No, I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying, who did I say was going to win? Is all I'm asking. I'm not arguing with you. I'm simply asking a question. Skap, who did I say was going to win?
Oh, you were with the Knicks for sure.
Okay, so Cusmo, that's my point. I'm letting Cusmo know I believed in his Knicks tonight. That's all. All right. Love to heart my Knicks show tonight, Skap, especially Towns. What a game. Not sure what the outcome of this series will be, but I'm proud of the effort. Yeah, Q's. I think the Pacers will win game 6, but good effort tonight. And who the heck knows? See, Skap, that's one thing though, isn't this the pattern? Every time you think you have the outcome of the game figured out, it switches. So it's like now everyone's assuming the Pacers will win game 6. You never know. Maybe the Knicks take it to game 7 back at the Garden on Monday night. How exciting would that be?
Yeah, I'm trying to get in to see if the line's been set. It's Indiana by 3.5 is the line right now in good old Las Vegas. So the Pacers are favored at home to win that game. Again, I think they'll win that game. If by some chance the Knicks find a way to win that game on the road, again, I think that's highly unlikely. But if they do, I will, again, flip-flop and revert back to my initial series read, Knicks in 7. But I just don't see it. It's very difficult to get back from a 3-1 hole. It is the thing that the Knicks had going for them, though, is they were the home. They were the higher seed of the two. So that means that when they went down 3-1, they had 2 of the 3 remaining games in New York. So they just have to find a way to win the middle game, game 6, which will be the game that is upon us for Saturday night. And that's the game that typically gets these comebacks thwarted or tripped up. So, we'll see. Again, all time in NBA history, teams that fall behind 3-1 in a series at any stage of the playoffs in any round are 13 and 238 all time. So that is or 283. I might be transposing 2 of those numbers, but all time it is a 4% chance of winning when you go down 3-1. So the Pacers, essentially, when they won that last game 2 days ago, they had a 96% chance to win the series. It's not surprising to me that they lost tonight in New York. It is a bit questionable, the effort that they came out with. I thought they were flat from the beginning. The Knicks seized control. The Pacers never really threatened at all. Every single player, it looked like, on the Pacers mailed it in, which is, of course, a commentary about their star player because he also mailed it in, and it's just unbelievable. It is almost unimaginable that you can go from a game where you drop 32, 15, and 12, and then less than 2 damn days later, you go 8, 6, and 2. Like, where are you tonight, Tyrese Haliburton? So this is look, he's young. I don't know exactly how old he is, like 20, 24-ish. Let me see. 25. He is 25 years old. So still a young player, but look, this is a legacy game for him as far as I'm concerned. Yes, I said it. No, I don't think it's hyperbolic. When you lay this kind of a game down, now you're up 3-1. And this, look, you don't know how many opportunities you get. Like, sure, some teams can think, oh yeah, we'll be back many, many times to come. I'm only 25, like Anthony Edwards. I don't know. I don't want to get off on a tangent on this. And we will be getting to these super chats here momentarily, but I finally had an opportunity to look at the post-game press conference. Actually, Stephanie, I think, noted it to me that Anthony, in the comment section last night, she said that Anthony Edwards said he was excited to lose the game. And so I did go back and look at the post-game press conference. And it was a baffling post-game presser to me. Anthony Edwards, the question, the full context of it basically was like, how much does it hurt? Or like how, devastating or whatever is it to get here, to get this close to the finals 2 years in a row and not be able to get over the hump. And he just looked confused by the question. He was like, hurt? No, that's the wrong word. I'm excited. Like I'm 23 years old. I'm young. Like I get to do this many, many more times. Like that is a bad outlook, I think, to have a bad attitude to take. You never know. I mean, in the NBA, I think when you're an upper echelon elite player, I think it's maybe more predictable that you can get back or close than in other sports, like say the NFL, where you never know. Like Dan Marino was in his second year and went to the Super Bowl, and he's probably thinking like, oh yeah, so what? I lost the Super Bowl in my second year. So what? Like I got many more opportunities to get there and do this. He played like 18 years, never made it back. Aaron Rodgers, remember how dominant Aaron Rodgers was in that performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was like 30 years old in that performance, 29, 30 years old. And, through 300 plus yards, 3 touchdowns, Super Bowl MVP. You're thinking, watching that game, like, this is the guy. This is the next guy. This is the future. This is an all-time great we're watching. He'll be, how many could he have? 29, 30 years old. Sky's the limit. He's going to be 42 this year. He's never been back. So I think the NBA is a little bit different in that it is a little bit more predictable, but you never know. Like Joel Embiid has never been out of the second round. So you never know what's going to happen down the road. The Timberwolves have some questions to answer in terms of what their future and the structure of that team is going to look like. And the Western Conference is just preposterous right now. When you look at some of the trends and things look at the teams really that made it this year into the playoff field. You would think Dallas will be much more competitive next year. You would think the Spurs will be much more competitive next year. I mean, the Sacramento Kings, who knows? Like there are teams I think that didn't even make the play-in that might be a contender next year. I mean, there could be 13, 14 teams deep in the 12, at least 12, 13 teams deep in the West. Like nothing is guaranteed. So to come out with the opinion of, oh, well, I'm excited to lose. Just, I'll be back here many more times. I'm only 23. That was to me just a baffling viewpoint to take. And I'm really, I kind of in a roundabout way. I don't want to lose the forest for the trees. I started this little mini monologue off because I'm talking about Haliburton, who's only 25. So this same kind of mentality might be applicable for him, at least to him, that was being applied by Anthony Edwards at that press conference. But I think this is a legacy game for him. We're talking about getting to the NBA Finals and a small market team that has not been there in 25 years now. And I think this is a legacy making or breaking time, especially following up a 8-point, 6 assist and 2 rebound game in a potential closeout. Now he's going to be at home in Indiana. If he chokes that game away, they might blow the 3-1 lead, lose it all to New York, and New York's going to go in their place. And then who knows how many more times that Haliburton will be back. So I think the pressure has now ratcheted up officially onto Indiana, and particularly Tyrese Haliburton, because I was just 2 days ago calling him a superstar. Many people are calling him that. So from which much is given, much is whatever, much is owed. So I think heavy is the head that wears the crown, and all those
required,
all of those sayings. So if Haliburton wants to masquerade around as an elite player and think of himself as a superstar, this is a game on Saturday that he's going to have to find a way to close out. And I quite frankly think he will. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of energy he comes with, what kind of energy the team comes with. I think, moderator Gary, that arena is going to be absolutely raucous and bumping for that game. I think it's going to be basically what we would see in a game 7 kind of an atmosphere in New York. I think that the fans will understand the urgency of that game. It's essentially Indiana's game 7, in my opinion. So I think they will show up, all the players top to bottom, and play with that sense of urgency. So like I said, they all need it. They all need their mulligan. They all need to bounce back because, 37 cumulative points from the starting lineup for the Indiana Pacers. Just an abysmal no-show by them. So that's where we're at. We do have a couple super chats that have streamed in here. Welcome, guys. I never actually officially welcomed you guys all to the Skap Live After Dark Lounge here. I, of course, if you are new to the lounge, am your host, Skap, and I am joined, of course, as always, by moderator Gary and all of you guys. Roughly 250 of you guys strong, probably my regulars. You guys seem to always show up every night and stay on however long I happen to be here. It's been about half an hour here. It's early, so it's looking like another early night for me, hopefully tonight. It's 11 o'clock, just over 11 o'clock on the East Coast where I'm at here in the US of A. And we've got some super chats already in here from you guys. My very generous benefactors and sponsors. I see predictably many regulars here, names. So let's go ahead and dig into some of these and see what you guys have to say. And again, we can talk about other things if you want to go in different directions. But Gary, why don't you lead us off with the enforcer, who is seemingly here every single night, listening, supporting, and of course, donating something to us as well. So welcome back in, enforcer, and many thanks for being here. Gary, what is the question or comment for tonight?
I was talking about Kobe tonight, and it looks like Hal could have used some of the mentality. Glad to see Cat moving and able to help them win.
Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of Karl Anthony Towns. I think, like I said, I've talked about him a couple times here already tonight. I think he was, honestly, Brunson had a great game tonight, and Brunson is a steady and reliable force for them. But I think Karl Anthony Towns was the key factor tonight. If I had to pick like one main performer, one guy that was, I thought, the main key to the Knicks' success tonight, it would be Karl Anthony Towns. And he keyed that big comeback too against Indiana in game, 3. So he's just been so massive in this, really, definitely this series. But I actually do want to, I'm going to look up his entire postseason run here. I just want to dig more into what he's done this whole really playoff run. First of all, this season, I mean, look at these numbers this season. In 72 games, why the hate for this guy? Why the continual slander? And even now, like, I'm seeing from New York fans, it's crazy to me. Like, I see Knicks fans out here saying like, oh, maybe we trade Karl Anthony Towns. Like, you just traded for him. Like, you just acquired this guy in the summer. And like, we're already saying, oh, I wonder what we can get for Karl Anthony Towns. Why? Like, what has he done to indicate that you need to move on from him? Look at these numbers this year. 72 games. So, the guy only missed 10 games this year. 24.5 points, 12.8 rebounds. So 24 and 13 with 3 assists to go along with it. 52% shooting from the field, and a 40% three-point shooter at what's his list? I'm thinking he's like 7'1", 7 feet tall. They list him at 7 feet 250, shooting 40% from the 3-point line. I mean, what? Like, I'm sorry, actually it was 42%, and he shoots about 5 a game. In the postseason now, in 16 games, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 49%, and 38% from 3. So, I mean, this guy to me is like a bona fide star. I don't understand why the disdain for this guy by and large, and why everyone's just trying to trade him all the time. I don't get it. I like Karl Anthony Towns. I'm a fan of his. I think he had some bad moments last year, particularly the one that comes to mind for me is his career high. I don't know exactly how many he had. I think it was like 57-ish, 56, 57. And he was jacking up shots left and right, just hoisting all kinds of threes, not really getting back or playing any defense. And the Timberwolves, who were a very good team at the time, they were, I believe, they were either 1 or 2 at the time in the Western Conference. And they lost, I want to say, to Charlotte, who is straight ass. So they lost to Charlotte in that game. And Chris Finch, the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, actually, he benched Karl Anthony Towns for like the last 3-4 minutes of the fourth quarter because he just was hoisting these threes and not playing any defense. And after the game, Chris Finch said it was an abysmal display of basketball in talking about mainly Cat, but also just the whole team's really refusal to play in the flow of the offense, as they were just all feeding Cat and like kind of hyping him up to keep going and keep the scoring onslaught. But I think he ended the year on a high note in playing a really good postseason for Minnesota. And that he's been really good in New York all year and in these playoffs. So absolutely enforcer. I couldn't agree more. I think I've talked Cat up enough tonight, but we'll see. We'll see what the rest of the night holds. As for Haliburton, that what he displayed tonight is the antithesis of the Mamba mentality. So yeah, Tyrese Haliburton, even in being critical of him in this, he still probably doesn't even belong in the same breath as Kobe Bryant right now after this triple single. Seriously, how do you follow up a 30-point triple-double with an 8-point triple single in less than 2 days in the Eastern Conference Final Series? I'm absolutely shocked and dumbfounded. Like 32, 15, and 12 last game, 8, 6, and 2 this game on 2 of 7 shooting. Wow. He had better come with it on Saturday. They better either win, and if they don't win, he better have like 50 or at least like another 30 30-point triple-double, because oh my goodness, like that one's going to be a hard one to overcome, I think, otherwise. But thank you, Enforcer, and welcome in Will N, and thank you for your continued support and generosity of us here in the lounge. You are, of course, another one of these nightly contributors, it seems. So thank you again for your generosity. And Gary, what is the question or comment here from Will N?
Props to Michael and Landry, aka Laundry Cleaner Shamit, for locking down Hallie. Also, Tibbs, unfortunately, treating Mitch like the younger sister from Family Matters, who is never seen again, and keeping Hart attack in.
Yeah, it's, they went to a couple games that I can't remember. I think maybe it was either after game 2 or 3. Thibodeau made the adjustment. He because Hart's been in the starting lineup primarily, and they decided to go bigger, put Mitchell Robinson in, over Hart. And Hart has remained on the bench since then. But like, okay, it's just a matter of semantics, because while he might not start the game, he is finishing the game and he is playing more than Mitchell Robinson. So let me get the exact details here. Mitchell Robinson he started the game, but he played in 20 minutes. And Josh Hart didn't start the game, but he played in 34 minutes. So in 34 minutes, he was a -1 for whatever you want to read into that. Whereas in 20 minutes, Mitchell Robinson was a +3. So marginal, but still, I personally kind of like the way they've been playing with Mitchell Robinson. There was a reason why they made the adjustment and switched to him in the starting lineup. So yeah, I'm not sure why go through, like I said, the semantics of it all. Like, just if you want 14 more minutes, like, just, I don't know, maybe he wants to juggle, like swap their on-off times. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe he wants Hart. Maybe it's more of to Tibbs. Maybe it's not so much about getting rid of Hart and getting in more sides with Mitchell Robinson. Maybe he just wants Hart, a player he can rely on the bench, coming in with the second unit, playing more off starter minutes. Who knows? But like I said, Hart is typically playing. He's playing more at the end of game situations. So yeah, Will, and I don't know why Thibodeau does the things he does. I know Thibodeau's another one that is a divisive character. I, for the most part, think pretty highly of Tibbs, just because he is a defensive-minded guy. I like defensive-minded guys, and he established arguably the best defensive schemes I've ever seen on the great Kobe Bryant, when he was the D coordinator almost with those Boston teams. So I like Tibbs, but yeah, I don't know what his mentality or what his motivations are with this. So it really, and I don't know what to expect from him from game to game, quite honestly. Next we have Dylan Davis is in. Dylan, what is up to you? Another regular. Welcome back in. Welcome to the party, pal, here in the Skap Live After Dark Lounge. Gary, what is the question or comment from our guy, Dylan Davis?
Gary Skap, what's up? I'd rather use a bit of my THC money and interact with you guys than listen to BS from these R's mainstream media clowns.
Well, thank you, Dylan. We appreciate you and your kind and generous continued donations and support of us here in the Skap Live After Dark Lounge. And I'm glad to have you interacting with us here as well. So many thanks. And yeah, it's weird because I used to watch the mainstream. Like, I mean, when I was growing up, I think I had ESPN on basically 24/7. Like, I remember I got a television in my room. I got a television set in my room growing up, I think when I was in the 8th or 9th grade. So I was like 13 or something, one of these old box set TVs, because I am old. And I basically had ESPN on all, like, when I got home from school, ESPN would go on. And then I would when I went to bed, it stayed on. I kept it on all night, and it would be on in the mornings. And before I had a TV, I had a radio, and I would wake up to get ready for school around 6:30, I think. And Mike, for those of you who are too young to remember this, Mike Greenberg and Mike Golick had this famous radio show on ESPN radio, nationally syndicated for like 20 plus years, called Mike and Mike in the Morning. So I listened to Mike and Mike in the Morning, like while I was getting ready for school, basically. And I basically did nothing but watch sports news and sports coverage all day, every day when I was younger. And if it wasn't that, it was just a movie. So it was either sports games, sports mainstream media coverage, or movies. It was pretty much all I watched for the first like 35 years of my life. And now I can't even stomach to watch it. ESPN, I literally only watch it. ESPN and other mainstream things like Nick Wright on FS1 and whatever, if you want to count Gilbert Arenas as mainstream, just because of the number of followers he has on YouTube. I watch those people typically only to criticize them, or really, I don't even watch them. It's when people like you guys, or when other people in my comments hop in and they're like, "Yo, Skap, did you see X? Did you see this? Like, you got to go look at this." So I'll go, and then my blood is just boiling as I'm watching it. And I'm like, well, I have to do some kind of a reaction on this. Or I might be trolling around Twitter and just see some cursory clip of something. And then again, it's like the anger shark starts swimming, and I like have no choice but to begrudgingly make some kind of a reaction video on it. But thank you, though, Dylan, for your support. And thank you. Yes, do not watch those mainstream media types either. You don't need that. Next in, we've got yet another regular, Giuseppe DeRosa. Thank you to you. Welcome back into you. And Gary, what does Giuseppe have for us tonight?
Skap is easily one of my favorite YouTubers now.
Thank you so much, Giuseppe, for your kind words and your support here. It really does mean the world to me. It still is kind of weird. Like I've, been doing this for about 2 years now. I'm new to the live streams, as you guys all know. It's been about probably about 20 live streams now, all told, for me on my channel. At least I've done a couple here and there periodically on other people's platforms, but for me now, about 20, and they've all come basically in the last like 24 days or so. So new to live streams, but I have how many ever, like 400 some videos published in the last 2 years. And yeah, it's just pretty cool that I have gotten like a pretty decently sized following. I think it's right around 76,000 subscribers now. Most of these videos will turn out anywhere between 20 to 60,000 views in the first, roughly 24 to 30 hours. So it's always pretty cool when I see the amount of, views, but comments and interactions and engagements and stuff on these videos. It really is humbling for me. And I do appreciate you guys all so much. So thank you, Giuseppe, for the kind words and for your continued support. Next, we have Daniel Perkins in, who, no question, no comment, just wanted to give us $5 and support the lounge. So Daniel Perkins, shout out to you. Again, just talking about how overcome with gratitude I am for all of you guys and your continued support. So Daniel Perkins, go Gary.
We've actually got one a little further down, a question.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and jump to it now.
All right, yeah, sure. Let's jump to Daniel Perkins, who gave us yet another super chat with an actual question or comment. So Gary, go ahead and read this one from Daniel Perkins. And Daniel, thank you again for your continued support of us. And what does Daniel have, Gary?
Do you think the Harden, Durant, Westbrook OKC of 2012 could beat this version of OKC in a 7-game series?
That's an interesting hypothetical. I know Gary would probably say yes, as he continues his work on his OKC video and his Kevin Durant support piece. I don't know. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't think so. I think James Harden James Harden is an undeniably great offensive player. Depending on how the games are being officiated, quite frankly. But hey, I guess some people kind of make the same comment about Shea. But I think he wasn't quite the James Harden that was that elite offensive force when he was MVP Harden. He's never been a good defender. Russell Westbrook, I think, is not an elite defender, but he does give effort. He does give intense effort on that side of the ball. And Kevin Durant, just because of his sheer length and athleticism, has the capacity to be a good defender. But off of the top of my head, I am almost certain about what I'm about to say. Well, I know damn well James Harden has never been all NBA defense, but I'm almost 100% certain. I'd say 99.9. Westbrook nor Durant. So by extension, neither Harden either. Not one of the three have ever Durant's played like 17 years. Westbrook's played 16, 17. Harden's played 16-ish, whatever. So in like a cumulative 45 years between the three of them, not a single one time in 45 years has made one even second team All-NBA defensive selection. So, nah, I don't think so. Like Kevin Durant I'm going to give him the full one up. To me, Kevin Durant is one of the 5 greatest offensive players ever, probably. He's to me, I've got the 3 best scorers in NBA history, and then just a tiny mini little drop, just because I think there's like 4 or 5 guys you can put as 4. But to me, the top 3 in any order, whichever way you want to slice it, undeniable. Kobe, Wilt, Jordan. Boom. Period. Those 3. Then you get like 4 or 5 other names, I think, in the mix that could be talked about to be like the next guy. To me, Kevin Durant's in the mix of being the next guy. Like you can make a case for the Slim Reaper and the baby Iceman, KD, to be number 4. He's got 4 scoring crowns, all by like before the age of 25. I think really if he had the desire to score more, like if he had the Kobe drive to like lead the league in scoring, or not to say that Kobe did, because I think Kobe could have led the league in scoring 6 or 7 times and he only had 2. So maybe not even Kobe. But if Durant wanted to just go out there for the hell of it and just say, I'm leading the league in scoring, he probably could have led the league 7, 8 times, I think, in scoring. He's so effortless. He's such an elite combination of, I mean, to me, he's got similar skills of Kobe. Kobe's was more tenacious of a scorer, I think. But Durant was like 5 inches taller than Kobe with similar skills. So like as unstoppable as Durant was offensively, on specifically that iteration of Durant too, by the way, I still think the defense of this team, having 7 top 20 defenders league-wide on this Oklahoma City team, and the length. Like, it's not just like they're so long and big too with the defenders. Like, they have, like, Chet has like a 7'6" wingspan, and he's just a freak defensive player. You've got like a more of a beefy rim protector in Isaiah Hartenstein, and then like 3 or 4 long, strong, interchangeable perimeter-based defenders that could go through or under or switch on everything. Like, it's just, there's no way. I just don't think that even 3 dynamic offensive caliber players like those 3, and Russ, KD, and Harden, would have been able to be elite offensively enough 4 times out of 7 to beat this Thunder team. I just don't think so. They're just too good defensively. I think you need to be an elite defensive team, or have like a mindset to try to be an elite defensive, at least give the effort to be elite defensively when you play them in a series. And I just don't think that 2012 iteration of the Thunder would have been able to do it. That's my take, Daniel Perkins, on it. I think, Gary, would you push back? Do you think that OKC team?
Honestly, I'm going to push back about what I think happened and how Kevin Durant and OKC were robbed in 2012, but I'm actually not pushing back on this, because this what is just so freaking amazing. Sam Presti has built 2 dynasties in 15 years, because he built a dynasty in 2010. It's just that Harden left after the league, I believe, and that's what this video I'm working on is about, is how the league stole that championship from OKC in order to elevate LeBron, because they were desperate to get him his first championship. But this rendition is more balanced. That one had a better offense. This one has a better defense, even though Serge Ibaka was always a defensive player of the year candidate. And wasn't what's that other guy's name? Cephalosha. He was a good defender, right? So they did have some defense, but then, you've got Harden, who's a bit of a liability. And actually Nick Collison played some defense, because I was watching some highlights, and in game 1, they were just showing how they shut down LeBron in the second half when they were playing really good defense. So they can play defense as well. They have a better offense, but this OKC team is just so well balanced. So I wouldn't argue with you if you think this team would win in a 7-game series. I think we can all acknowledge it'd be a very interesting and close series.
Yeah. Oh, sure. I think it goes 7. I think it would take a full 7, but I think ultimately, I think the defense would just win the day ultimately in the 7th game.
And let's elaborate on this real quick. You said Kobe, Wilt, and Jordan, 3 best offense. And then you said there's a case for the other guys, and you put KD on that list. So off the top of your head, what other guys do we want to put on that list? We would put Larry Bird. We put Steph Curry. What other offensive way? Because I'm in agreement with you. I'm just trying to think also. I'm trying to add to that.
I'm pretty certain that George Gervin has 4 scoring titles as well. So anyone that has like 4 scoring titles, he does. He has 4 scoring titles. I think AI has 3 or 4. Let me just confirm how many exactly he has. He also has 4. Yes, too. So I think if you have 4 scoring titles, then you're on because like I said, Kate, look, Wilt has 8, or I'm sorry, 7. Jordan has 10. Nobody else has more than 4, and only a few guys have 4. KD, Iverson, Gervin are three of the 4 that have 4. So those 3 would be in the mix.
Dirk, that's the one I was thinking of that can be added on there. Dirk can also be on that list.
And
right?
then look, I'm not saying I agree with this, Gary, because I don't believe it.
Okay.
But like Kareem and LeBron would be in the mix because they're the 2 all-time leading scorers. So like while I don't think they were elite peak scorers like these other guys we just mentioned, and like I don't think like LeBron scores 37, he shoots 37% outside of 3 feet from the basket. So to me, like I think he's bagless. I don't think his overall offensive repertoire warrants him being in the conversation of best all-time scorers, but he's going to score like 45,000 points or more or whatever.
Longevity.
So like I get the case for him to be in there and to be in the conversation in the mix. And you can apply, therefore, the same reasoning to put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in there, too. So
I'd probably put Durant at 4 and probably Bird at 5 because they're just – Durant is just – he's so tall and lengthy and lanky, and he can beat you from the outside, the mid-range, and even the inside. He can just do it all, and he was so – smooth with it before his injury in 2019. But
yeah, just to real quick. So Kevin Durant led the NBA in scoring. This is ridiculous. Kevin Durant led the league in scoring the first time when he in his 3rd year at 21. So he led the league in scoring as a 21-year-old while playing in all 82 games. That was the first of 3 straight scoring crowns. So he led the league in scoring 3 straight seasons in his age 21, 22, and 23 year. He then, I think, finished 2nd or 3rd that next year, his age 24 season. Then in age 25 season, the following year, he led the league in scoring again. That was his MVP season. So 4 out of 5 seasons, he led the league in scoring in his ages 21 through 25 years. That's insane. And then obviously he went to Golden State, which then, of course, look, he's sharing the wealth then with Steph Curry, and he kind of bounced around a bit with other good players and high level teams throughout the rest of his career. So like this guy, like Kevin Durant, like he could have led the league in scoring like 7 or 8 times. Like if he had his own standalone team for like a larger chunk of his career, and keep in mind he was still even at that time sharing the floor with Russell Westbrook, who never really met a shot he doesn't like either. So, the fact that he found his way to 4 scoring crowns by the age of 25 that's nuts. So yeah, he is no doubt. And to me, I agree. I think I would have Kevin Durant to me as like that 4th guy that fills out my number 4 spot on my all-time scorer list. So agreed.
And I will say this actual video I'm putting together is actually about why I believe Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan is coming back. It's not for what people think. I believe the big bosses at the top are sending Michael Jordan in to reel LeBron back in to wind his career down. I believe this is going to be a process. I believe they picked LeBron to become the GOAT, and he has failed. And Michael Jordan, they're going to unleash to reel LeBron back in. The reason I'm bringing OKC in this is because I'm using it as an example when the league tried to desperately help LeBron. And I'm showing examples of why I believe OKC was superior to Miami, and even why I think Kevin Durant was superior to LeBron James. But of course, the narrative now, Durant's career has been diminished. If they had won in 2012, his career would be looked at differently right now. And this is an analogy I had, and then you can move on. We'll move on to the next super chat. LeBron James in 2012 was a locomotive, right? Kevin Durant, it wasn't just that he scored. It was the way he scored. It's so effortless. Kevin Durant was like the Bruce Lee of the NBA. It flowed like water. It was so easy for him to move around, and there was nothing the Heat could do to stop him. And that is when games 2 and 3, the refs started calling all these bogus fouls on OKC and on Kevin Durant. Games 2 and 3, Kevin Durant had 5 personal fouls called on him in both those games and was in foul trouble. That is what enabled the Heat to win those games and take those. And to your point, like you said in this series, when the Knicks lost game 1 to Indiana, even though technically it's one loss, but at the same time, sometimes a loss just feels bigger than one loss. And that's what happened to OKC mentally when they lost games 2 and 3, that they should have won both of those. It just felt bigger. It felt like there's nothing we can do. These refs are going to help Miami win. It's destiny. There's nothing we can even do. Even though Kevin Durant was outplaying everybody, he was unguardable. He was like the Bruce Lee of the NBA that playoff series.
I just want to again back up though to because Russell, I want to just say Russell Westbrook. For years I've said that yes, Kevin Durant outplayed LeBron in that series, and Russell Westbrook outplayed Dwayne Wade. So in the series before that LeBron epically choked away the year before in 2011,
right?
LeBron was the 5th leading scorer in that series. He was the 3rd leading scorer on his own team. And Dwayne Wade, everybody thinks like Dirk Nowitzki had this amazing series in 2011. He was the Finals MVP, and he did have a great series. But Dwayne Wade was the best player on the floor, in my opinion, in that series. Like Dirk, that series in 2011 in the 6-game final series, 26 points, 10 rebounds a game, 2 assists on 41% shooting from the field. Dwayne Wade in that series, 27 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.5 blocks on 55%. So like realistically, like Dwayne Wade was the best player on the series in that Mavericks Heat series that LeBron epically crapped away. So like it was big news that then it was the next year that they played that young Thunder team. So it's big news that young KD outplays LeBron. Like LeBron scored in that series 28.5 points per game on 47% shooting. Durant 31 points per game on 55%. But then you had Dwayne Wade in that series, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists a game on 43%. And then, but Russ, 27, 6 and 7 on 43%. So those were the 2 best players in that series for either team was Durant and Westbrook. The big deal, yes, the officiating. I will admit there were some heinous calls on not only late, but also on Durant early on in the series. But again, and also the Heat they had more depth there. They had Bosch giving them 15 on 45%. Shane Battier, 12 points. Chalmers, 10. And Chalmers, remember, had that huge closeout game. I think it was in the closeout game that Chalmers had that big game. Whereas like with the Thunder, there was a massive drop-off after Durant and Westbrook. There was only one other guy that scored in double digits for that whole series for the Thunder other than Durant and Westbrook, and it was James Harden. But Harden, who was 6th man of the year that year, only 12 per game on 37% shooting. So that was when the legend of Little Game James Harden began back there in that 2012. But yes, I just wanted to piggyback on what you were saying and give my man Russell Westbrook, because I am a big Russell Westbrook guy. So I wanted to give him his needed shout out for that series as well.
Ever since Harden left, there have been negatives about Westbrook and Harden, rightfully so. But here's what people don't realize. When they played together in OKC, 2010, 2011, 2012, there really was not a lot of negative about them. And the reason is they canceled those negatives out. When they played together, they benefited from one another. So what you got, okay, Westbrook later on got yes, he's got all the athleticism, the way he attacks the rim. but he's turnover prone. He's prone to be a ball hog in big moments. When they played together, OKC, Harden handled the ball in the fourth quarter. So you still had the benefit of Westbrook's ultra athleticism, but he wasn't choking games away at the end. Harden was handling the ball well. Harden could throw up daggers if need be, but he also had Durant, who was the primary scorer. It was the perfect storm. And then you had Ibaka, a defensive player of the year candidate, protecting the rim. It's the genius of Sam Presti. And I believe that this constructed OKC dynasty actually helps confirm my original theory in 2010 to 2012 that they were a dynasty, because it's the same mastermind behind the constructing of the rosters. It was a perfect storm back then, and it's a perfect storm now. It's a brilliant mastermind, Sam Presti is. And this is after helping build, being the assistant to R.C. Buford after rattling off 3 championships in San Antonio. Prior to this, this guy is a mastermind. And I'm telling you, Westbrook and Harden together, it may seem funny now, but they canceled out the negatives when they played together, and they just let Durant be the primary ball handler, scorer. It's a perfect storm.
I do want to say something else though, real quick. We're going to move on here. I think we've got Will N up next, but I do just want to say one more thing about Russell Westbrook, because I get the fact. Look, I can't deny that he overshoots sometimes. He's a bit erratic at sometimes. He can't control the force and energy with which he plays with at times. He turns the ball over too much at times. He has poor decision-making, and it's undeniable he's played with amazing teams by and large. Like, he's been on great teams. He's had great opportunities, and he's never won anything. Like, he's been to 1 NBA finals in his entire life. So I get the fact, I get the criticisms, I do, but I think people go overboard with it. Like, I've heard nonsense about LeBron James for 20 years that, LeBron could average a triple-double every year if he wanted to. Bullshit. Like, there's no way. If LeBron, the narcissist, stat-chasing, box score-obsessed player that he is, could do it, he would have done it. He's never been close. He's never once averaged double-digit rebounds. Think about that. Never one time has LeBron James in 22 years at his size ever, for an 82-game season, averaged double-digit rebounds. He's been in double-digit assists once in 22 years. It is so freaking hard to do, to average a triple-double. Like, people diminish it today and say, like, oh, well, it's the stats, the pace is crazy. No one plays defense. It's easy. It ain't easy. Like, again, if more people could do it, they would. Nikola Jokic just did it this year, one time in his career, and Oscar Robertson did it one time in his career. Russell Westbrook did it 4 times in 5 seasons, 4 times in 5 years. For a guy who, look, he's listed at 6'4", 200 pounds. He's basically about my size. I'm like 6'3", 190. Like, this guy is like my size. Like, I can't imagine a guy going out in the modern era of the NBA that is my size and averaging double digits in rebounds while leading the league in scoring one of the years. And like, the first year he did it when he won the MVP in 2016, 2017, he led the league in scoring that year while finishing 2nd in assists and like 10th in rebounds as a 6'3" guard in the modern era. It's bizarre that he's not more, I think that he's not more celebrated. And the fact that he's done it 4 times in 5 years, it's ridiculous. People say they're empty, hollow stats. You can't empty, hollow stat your way to a triple-double average for an 82-game season once, let alone 4 freaking times. And looking at it, like, I love stats. So I need to go and look and figure out if anyone's done anything like this. He's led the league in scoring twice in his career and 3 times in assists. Like, how many players ever can say that they have multiple scoring crowns and multiple assist crowns? My guess would be exactly nobody other than Russell Westbrook. So the fact that this guy is so universally hated and mocked and ridiculed, like, I'm sorry, I just don't get it. I know it goes against all of my brand and like all of my general takes, because like he is the poster child of someone that I should hate on and kill because of all the great stats and the fact that he's never won anything. But I just can't help it. Like, I see this 6'3" guy that is undersized, that is just using just pure desire and his motor to produce these like unparalleled statistics. I just can't help it. Like, there's a part of me that admires this guy and like wants to defend him routinely. And like, I feel bad that he's become like a joke in recent years. And a lot of it started because he went to play with LeBron. And LeBron, as we all know, needs a fall guy. He needs a scapegoat. Funny quick side story before we move on. Chris Carter, legendary wide receiver in the NFL, as Chris Berman once famously glossed him, all he does, catch touchdowns, because the guy's just a great touchdown producer, and he was masterful along the sidelines. For all of you young kids that are out there in the lounge that can't remember Chris Carter, he was like the master of the one-hand sideline catch. Anyway, he was more famously known later in his career as a Minnesota Viking, but he started his career with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he had a troubled beginning in the NFL. Like, he was caught up in drugs. It looked like his career might never really materialize. He found God, married someone, got him straightened out, had a tremendous second part of the career. He's a Hall of Famer. Anyway, they bring him in to like this. The NFL every year has these like rookie symposiums where they bring various speakers in to like give a speech to these rookies, the incoming class of rookies, to like, tell them what to expect, to give them words of wisdom or whatever, advice. And, Chris Carter, great guy to bring in because he turned it around. He broke the mold. Like, he looked like he was going to be bounced early in his career. He then turned it all around, succeeded. I'm thinking like, oh, Chris Carter is going to have like pearls of wisdom for these young guys. He came in and said, not a joke, by the way, as part of his speech, you have to have a fall guy. Get yourself a fall guy now that you're in the NFL, which I thought was a hilarious moment. And that's what LeBron, as we know, needs a fall guy. He has to have a scapegoat. And unfortunately for us, in that, if you remember that, 2021, 2022 year, where the Lakers didn't even make the playoffs. They had a team with LeBron, AD, Russ, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, and they didn't even make the playoffs. They won like 30-something games. And unfortunately, Russ became the fall guy. And ever since that year, like, that has tarnished Russell Westbrook for some reason. Like, he's just this ongoing jokey punchline player, and it just pains me to see it. So I just have to, I'm sorry for this long Russell Westbrook diatribe, but I had to go on my spirited Russell Westbrook defense. Gary, go ahead. I'll let you chime in.
I've seen them talk about him years before that. It was like a 2013 or 14, because there was all this consensus that he was a ball hog and wasn't passing to Durant enough. And Durant was getting really frustrated, and that's actually why he left. He was not getting the ball enough. And I joked around. I used to say that Golden State's pitch to Durant was, hey, Kevin, here at Golden State, our point guards pass the ball. And Durant's like, for real? Are you serious? And that's what won him over. He's going to get the ball. The point guard actually passes. I even made comics. I was making comics about Westbrook being a ball hog. And KD was like at halftime, brother, can you give me a few passes? And Westbrook's like, I don't know. I'll think about it. And this and that and then after the game, Durant's like, trade me to the Hawks. As a joke. But I'm saying this has been like this before. I agree that LeBron does need a scapegoat. Westbrook was a scapegoat. I totally agree. But he's been called Westbrook and a ball hog for years before he went to the Lakers.
I think I could see it. Look, I can see it both ways. We just got done agreeing that we both think Kevin Durant's the fourth best scorer ever. So, like, I get it that he wants the ball and he should have been the primary guy. But then when I see Russell Westbrook, who does have the ability to lead the league in scoring multiple times, and average a triple-double literally every year, like stuff that they say about LeBron, which is a lie, Russell Westbrook actually could have been doing. So he was muffling his game as well. I think I probably commiserate with Russell Westbrook.
Though the point guard's primary duty is not to shoot and score, though.
I get it, but I think I commiserate with Russell Westbrook because I did see situationally, I saw some in Russell Westbrook what I saw in Kobe Bryant for the 8 years that he played with Shaq. I saw a talent in Westbrook that could have been much more, that was also sacrificed. So yes, maybe Westbrook was curtailing Durant's game to some degree and muffling his scoring, but Russ was also muffling his own scoring. Like, look at the first, Gary, the first the first 6 seasons of his career, Russell Westbrook, he averaged only 20 points per game. Then when Durant left, the back end, after Durant was gone, which the first year was the triple-double year, running all the way to the 5 seasons afterwards, he averaged 26 points per game. So he upped his scoring substantially after KD left. And like Kobe did the same. Like Kobe had to sacrifice his own scoring and his own statistics under Shaq. And then as soon as Shaq left, Kobe exploded. I'm not saying Russ and Kobe are the same exactly, but I did see a guy that I commiserated with in Russ, that like I did with Kobe when I grew up watching him.
Okay, and see, this is what. Okay, and I really don't want to stretch this out, but I got to say something. You crap on Chris Paul all the time. Like, you hate Chris Paul. But Chris Paul made the Clippers, Thunder, Rockets, and Suns way better. What team has Westbrook ever made better? Those triple-doubles never made the teams good. What team has he ever been on that was good, led by Westbrook? CP3's changed teams. That crappy Thunder team, I think he took them to the playoffs. They might have got eliminated, but they were a total joke. That Suns team he took to the finals, and they were horrible the year before he came. He got the Clippers in the playoffs pretty much every year. CP3 is a point guard who makes teams better. Westbrook doesn't make any team. What team has Westbrook been on? See, his triple-doubles are for his glory, not for the team's glory. What team has he ever made better? His triple-doubles don't make teams better. It just makes him a fun, entertaining player to watch.
I think what you're saying is not unfair. And I think the advanced metrics would bear it out, in that Chris Paul is if you look at career win share, BPM, PER, all of the value over replacement, if you look at all of those things, Chris Paul is superior in all of those metrics to Russell Westbrook. But Kobe Bryant is not good in any of those metrics either. I think I do see, I just see a little bit of Russ in Kobe, I think. So I look, Gary, I'm not going to argue with you because I've said that Russ breaks the mold. Like, he is a player that I should hate on. Like, but my brand is to hate on him because he essentially doesn't represent most of the things that I typically hold to be, beneficial or valuable to teams. But like, there's just something about the thing. Like, I think Russ has a little Kobe in him, but Kobe just found a way to be a winner. So like, while like Russ has never been able to do that. So like, I think Kobe, like I can defend Kobe in ways, despite the fact that Kobe was an inefficient player on the surface, that he was a bit of a ball hog at times on the surface, that he was not an efficient player, that he kind of went against his teammates in moments. But I can reject all of that to some degree and just say, oh, well, he won 5 rings. Like he was the principal closer on the 3 that with Shaq, and then he was the best player on planet Earth on the other 2. Like, so there's easy ways that I can refute the stuff that you're throwing at me with Russ. Like, I can easily reject that because Kobe won 5. Russ hasn't. So like I really
Russ is a point guard, though.
I can't necessarily push back on that.
His job to be the facilitator. It wasn't Kobe's job. Kobe wasn't a point guard. He was the leader. But
the thing is, though, Russ is only a point guard, I think, because of his size. I think he has more of a mentality to be a scorer. I think the mentality that he has is more of a 2 or an off guard. But
like
because of his size and his usage domination,
like
he's
Steph
categorized
Curry.
as a 1.
That's how Steph Curry is. But notice how much better Steph Curry is. And Curry's also a much better team player. He can pass. He passes a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I can't push back because, like, my only defense would be saying, like, well, Steph had much better teams or Chris Paul had much better teams, but that's not true. Like Russell Westbrook has had great players. He's played with tons of great players and great teams too. So, like, I can't really give much pushback. Like, I really have no defense in this. Like I said, it's irrational, Gary. I'm pointing it out, but I just, for whatever reason, have this kind of admiration for this little size, this smaller guy that just has put up like insane, like leading the league in scoring and finishing second in assists while averaging double-digit rebounds for a 6'3" guy is never not just going to be a crazy thing to me. So like, I just have this little bit of admiration for him that I just probably will never really get rid of. But I get it that people can say this is the one thing. I think I'm very consistent with my takes from player to player, from situation to situation. Russell Westbrook's the one guy that people can come at me and say, like, Skap, you're not being fair. This is inconsistent. And like that, it's true. Like, I'll admit it. Like, I am being inconsistent when it comes to Russell Westbrook. Next, we've got Will N in with just a quick little comment here. Go ahead and read that from Will N. Will N, thank you for your continued support here.
Yeah, right before I do that, everyone, in case you're interested in any of my content, I've just put a link to my channel and the videos I put up because I'm going to release that Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan video later in the week. Hope to see some of you guys over there. Okay, Will N with a 2-piece. Skap with the Chuck level guarantees. LOL. Does that mean that you're flip-flopping like Chuck?
Maybe that must be what it is. I guarantee it, as Chuck would say. But yeah, I didn't guarantee a Knicks win at the beginning of the series. That was just my initial indication. I had Knicks in 7, Thunder in 5 coming into these West final, the West and East finals. Not only did I nail the Thunder in 5, I picked every game right. I had the Thunder winning 1-2, losing 3, winning 4 and 5. That was before the series tipped. I projected those 5 games to go that way. In this series, I was wrong. And I knew I was wrong right off the bat. Had the Knicks, though, been able to hold on to a 14-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go, to a 9-point lead with 1 minute to go, had they held on to that, then I think the Knicks would have won in 7. But they were incapable of doing that in game 1. And therefore, I flipped immediately in saying, like, okay, now I've got Pacers in 6 after the choke job by the Knicks in game 1. And I don't think I was wrong. I just think the Knicks pooped themselves. And I was just reacting to the pooping. So then I immediately went to Pacers in 6. And I will now stand firmly behind my Pacers in 6. Unless the Pacers lose in the 6th game, and then I will flip back to the Knicks. So at that point, Will, and I will then flip-flop. Okay, oh boy, I'm so excited. I could barely contain my excitement because next up we've got Skap's Extra Strong Cologne in, and I can already see there is a new avatar coming tonight. He changes his avatar basically nightly, and I do see another one on the way here. Gary, is it me as Pepe the Pew? Pepe Le Pew.
It's some skunk. It may be Pepe. Yeah, I think so.
So, of course, according to Skap's Extra Strong Cologne, my signature line is Skap's stenches. And you were saying yesterday how that has stenches carries a negative connotation with it. And so here's Pepe Le Pew, and I am refaced as Pepe here. So I'm not going to hate the grind and the hustle here from you, Skap's Extra Strong Cologne, in your continued strive towards excellence of changing your avatar every single day. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for your continued support, kindness, and generosity to the lounge here. Gary, what is the question or comment here from Skap's Extra Strong Cologne?
Does Tyrese Haliburton plan on choking himself after tonight's game? OMG, what a no-show by the supposed next great point guard. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, Tyrese did that that patented Reggie Miller, that classic gag celebration. If you guys again are too young to remember, I am actually almost too young to remember. I want to say my memory is hazy on this. I think the Knicks were up 7-ish. I think it was a 7-point lead with like 11 seconds. I don't know the exact reset of it, but there was under 20 seconds left, I believe. And there was maybe it was, all I know is I remember Reggie hit a 3, stole an inbound pass, turned around, backed up to the 3-point line, hit another 3. And then at this point of the game, it becomes evident that the Pacers are going to storm all the way back and take this game away from the Knicks. And during the closing stages of that game, Spike Lee, famed director and humongous, notorious New York Knicks super fan, was sitting courtside, jawing back and forth with Reggie Miller. And when Reggie buried that step back 3 to put the Pacers up, he does this like famous like choke celebrate, like directed right at Spike Lee. And when Haliburton hit what he thought was the game winning, but it ultimately became the game tying 3 at the end of game 1, which ultimately did propel the Pacers to steal that game 1 in this series. Haliburton reenacted the famed gag celebration at center court in the Garden. To Skap's extra strong cologne's point, though, will Haliburton be like looking in a mirror and choking himself tonight after that heinous performance by him? The triple single on the heels of his historic last game, a triple single to the tune of 8 points, 6 assists, and only 2 rebounds on just 2 of 7. An absolute laughable performance by him. So maybe Skap's extra strong cologne, just maybe he should. Next in, we've got Giuseppe DeRosa back in. Go ahead and read this. He ran it all together. Actually, Gary has something for us, I think. Go ahead, Gary.
I do think the Pacers are going to win game 6 in Indy, but I'll tell you this. If somehow the Knicks win that game, I think the Pacers would win at the Garden in game 7, because it seems every time there's a momentum, it goes in the opposite direction. And I just don't see the Pacers losing 3 straight times. And I could see the Knicks choking in grand epic fashion. So, okay. So Giuseppe DeRosa, nobody ever talks about Elgin Baylor's ass finals record.
Well, Giuseppe, I will say this. I think they do in a roundabout way. I think they do talk about it because he's not talked about. Same with Jerry West, for that matter. Like Jerry West nor Elgin Baylor are given, the level of, I think, respect that their individual resumes would warrant and dictate. Elgin Baylor and Giuseppe, I'm looking at this avatar of yours, by the way, speaking of avatars. If that is in fact you, yes, we know you're very young. And obviously Elgin Baylor retired in 1971-72. So I myself, that is well before my time even. But Elgin Baylor is speaking of great scorers, he's one of the all-time great scorers in league history. Elgin Baylor with 10 All-NBA first-team selections. That would be 10. Let me just see who has the most All-NBA first-team selections. Of course, LeBron. Kobe and Kareem are tied, I think, for second most with like 11. And I think LeBron has like 14 and he has the most. But let me just go ahead and confirm that. First-teamers. Giuseppe, here's the list. LeBron James has 13 first-team selections. That's most all time. Kobe Bryant and Karl Malone have 11. They're tied for second most all time, 2 behind LeBron. Kareem has 10. Tim Duncan has 10. Bob Cousy has 10. Jerry West has 10. Michael Jordan 10. Bob Pettit 10. And Elgin Baylor 10. That's it. That's the list of players with double-digit first-team selections. Again, you didn't hear Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Wilt Chamberlain. You didn't hear any of those guys. But yeah, both Jerry West and my man Elgin Baylor both have 10. And Elgin Baylor, how's this? Try this on for a stat line for his 14-year career. 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. That's 27, 14, and 4. Give me 1 second, Lounge. Luna is knocking at the door. Let me just slide away for 1 second here, and just let her slip out. 27. Let me slide back in here. 27, 14, and 4. But nobody ever talks about this guy. Same is nobody ever talks about Jerry West because they didn't win enough. Because their terrible finals record, they're routinely overlooked. I mean, Jerry West, for instance. Let's take a look at Jerry West, aka Mr. Clutch, who I believe is 1-8 in the NBA Finals. Again, he played 14 years, so he had 10 first-team selections in 14 years. Not only did he have 10 first-team selections in 14 years, he had 5 consecutive all-defensive selections, including 4 straight. He is one of 3 players that led the league in scoring and was all-NBA first-team defense while doing it. That would be Jerry West, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. That's it. That's the list. And, oh, by the way, he's the freaking logo of the NBA. But neither of these 2 guys are ever discussed or talked about as a top 10 player. And that is why, Giuseppe, because they have bad finals records. Which is why, it's I think of a bit of an oversight for LeBron that we continually overlook it. But thank you for just giving me a reason to talk about the great Elgin Baylor. I think he's one of the more underrated players in NBA history, and one that I always bring up and talk about. I think he was one of the principal guys. He was more of in the 60s. And I think of him, everyone talks about Wilt and Oscar, but I always bring up Elgin as well and throw him in the mix with Wilt and Oscar. I think he does belong in that conversation. Next, we've got Lester. And Lester, sad day for you, obviously. No banana eating for me in the live stream. It looks like he has something to say about that. Gary, go ahead and read Lester's comment here.
Looks like no bananas are going to be harmed today.
That's right, Lester. That nice big banana I have sitting on my countertop right now will, along with the Knicks, live to fight another day. So unfortunately, there will be no banana eating today. But as always, many thanks to you for coming in and supporting us, and yet another characteristically funny comment from you. Will N is back in with yet another comment here, another 3-on-3 comment. So Gary, go ahead and read that one for us.
Another 3-on-3. Steph, Clay, Draymond versus Run TMC. I think that's Steph, Clay, and Dre easy.
Yeah, I would say so. For you youngins, TMC would be Mitch Richmond, Tim Hardaway, and Chris Mullin. Back in the day, that that era of Golden State Warriors. But yeah, I would say I agree, Gary. Usually I'm reluctant. Usually I'm an old school guy, and I tend to give deference to the old school. But I would say in this one, Steph, Clay, and Draymond, just because here's the thing again. I lean defense. Like Clay was an All NBA defensive caliber player. Mm-hmm. Dre is too, and an All NBA or Defensive Player of the Year for him. And then Steph, would be the scoring, punch that they would need there to win that 3-on-3 then on that side. So I would say that's a relatively easy one for me. Steph, Clay, and Dre.
Clay is one of the best two-way players of all time, isn't he? I mean, defensive and his offensive ability. Yeah, it's just insane.
So Dylan's in. Dylan, I fear, might ignite some kind of a massive conversation here or debate. But I think, honestly, Gary and I agree pretty much on this. And I am going to assume that Dylan is referring to joining the super teams or building super teams. Like, what's the difference, essentially? So Gary, go ahead, though, and read that, and then I'll try to tackle that.
And this is actually another point. What's the difference between what KD and LeBron did when
We see what happened. What did LeBron do when he joined his super team? Choked. What did KD do? Dominated. Like, and I understand, well, he joined the Warriors who were 73-9. Yes, but that Miami Heat team should have been 73-9 as well with that talent they had.
And also, even though they won more games the year before, they were much better the year that Durant came on. Like every advanced metric. That's why people crush me all the time and say, I'm tired of these metrics, Skap. I don't want to see these BPMs, advanced, whatever, net rating. I don't care. Like, it doesn't mean anything. No, it does. Like, the advanced ratings will bear it out. If you go and look at all of the advanced metrics for the 2016-17 team that added Durant versus the 2015-16 team, they won a lot less games. It was like 6 fewer games. The 2015-2016 team without KD won 73 regular season games. The team the next year won only 67. They were exponentially better. They were better in everything, every metric during the regular season. And those advanced metrics bared out the success that they were going to have in the playoffs, which is they are one of the 2 greatest playoff teams ever, joining the 2001 LA Lakers. Because they went like 16-1 and they had like a 12+ point per game net differential in those playoffs. So yes, that team was much better that second year, the first year with Kevin Durant, than it was the 73 win year. But the difference, and I won't spend too much time on this one, Gary, because you and I have talked about this in excess over the last couple of days in the lounge here. But the difference to me is that LeBron did it first. LeBron started it. LeBron made it fashionable to do it. And it wasn't just once, he did it twice. Like, he went to Miami, joined up, built a bona fide super team with 2 of the top 3 best players in the NBA and like a top 15 player otherwise. In fact, I quite frankly think that Miami team was better than the Golden State team, or it should have been. Like, you had Steph and KD, who were probably the second and third best players in the NBA at the time. But then in the Miami had LeBron and Wade, who were the second and third best players in the NBA at the time. So 2 top 3 players on both, but then Bosh was better than the next best player that Golden State had. So, like, to me, it was a bigger super team, or it should have been in Miami. They just weren't as good. They just didn't execute it as well as KD and Steph did. But then the most glaring difference is the fact that LeBron did it first twice, because he built that Miami team. Then he went and had another super team in Cleveland. The audacity of this guy to think that he could just saunter around, gallivant around from super team to super team, and nobody else in the NBA was going to do it. No, okay, actually, KD and Steph decided, well, if you can do it, why can't we? I think we'll do it too. And then, sorry, they just one-upped LeBron. They just outdid LeBron's super team. So that, quite frankly, they were just better at building super teams than LeBron.
Right. I mean, you're 100% right, and I've said that. So therefore, why do you hate KD so much?
Again, Gary, it's just in a vacuum. I think it's funny. I understand the reasoning behind it with your reasoning of defending him for it. And I'm not as harsh on KD as I am on LeBron, quite frankly.
You told me he's a bum. You say LeBron's a bum, and you said Kevin Durant and Steph Curry are bums.
They're much lesser degree bums than LeBron.
They're not bums.
They're much lesser. It's like a lowercase, like small font bum for them, but it's like a all capital, like 72 block type font bum for LeBron. Like there's like degrees to this, but I actually, quite frankly, like KD, and I think
I can tell.
I actually feel bad for KD because see, I don't feel bad for Steph, because Steph to me still gets his flowers and is actually overrated still. But like, to me, I feel bad for KD because KD did the same thing Steph did, and Steph gets passes. KD did the same thing as LeBron did. LeBron gets passes. Why does KD get no passes? Why is everyone trying to discredit KD's rings, but they're giving Steph all the credit for, like, the craziest thing of all is like Steph gets credit for all 4 of those rings. Like, how is that possible? Like, that you're not giving KD credit when he led those teams in scoring and was like the closer on those 2 teams and the finals MVPs, and you're not giving him any credit for those, and somehow Steph Curry gets credit for all 4 rings. So I do actually feel sorry for KD, and I think he's become a little overly vilified at this point of his career. So, like,
And you
I
seem
really,
to be leading that way. Every time I bring him up, you crap all over him. So you don't seem like you feel sorry for him at all. I feel sorry for him. That's why I'm making this
some of it
video
I might just be
defending him.
just kind of trying to argue with you or get you a little worked up, maybe sometimes. I don't know. But I will say this though. I think for years I have always given KD preferential treatment in terms of he was the most valuable player, the one most attributable to success for those Golden State teams. But I will say, in hindsight, looking back, like I think they were more of like a split. Like I think Steph Curry actually, I probably undercredited Steph Curry on those rings when I look back at like the on-off metrics and like what they did in like games that Steph missed versus games that KD missed. I think there is something to it that like Steph was maybe the straw that stirred the drink there, but KD was just like such a dynamic scorer. It was kind of like the reason I look at like KD basically, like, why did LeBron build super teams? Because he couldn't win without them, one. And two, because he didn't have the offensive dynamic ability to rise above defenses really focusing on him without some kind of a pressure valve release, if you will. So he had to put other great players around him to open the floor so he could attack the basket better and easier, get to the rim easier. Like KD, as we just went over, was dominating at an early stage in his career, leading league in scoring every year, basically in his early 20s. But then when he went and got like a really elite team around him, like he was just a cheat code. Like he was just unstoppable.
Invincible.
Like they couldn't, like honestly, if he didn't rupture the Achilles and if Draymond Green wasn't an idiot and didn't get in that altercation with KD on the sideline and KD just was fed up with it and the whole situation, if they stayed together and stayed healthy, like they could have won 5-6 straight championships. Like that team it was unbeatable.
Remember how Draymond seemed like he used to hate LeBron, like you've pointed out, and then all of a sudden he starts singing his praises, and we suspect Clutch got in his pocket. Is it possible Clutch got in their pocket in that season and tried to get Draymond to turn on KD, to put the crack in that team so they would fall apart? Was that around the we'd have to do a little deep dive another time, because
I wouldn't reject that premise, though.
Right.
I certainly wouldn't give pushback on that. That's totally possible and plausible, because it was right around that time that shift started happening between like Dre was like this, like it was just so weird to see like Draymond Green was like a principal agitator and like nuisance and like foil of LeBron, and then he switched. Like it was so odd to see it. Yeah. And then he went full 180 and was like, they were like hanging out at karaoke bars together and singing karaoke together.
Right.
Like it was such a bizarre flip-flop. And then like thinks he's the GOAT. He calls him the GOAT routinely now. Like it's insane to me. So it certainly is plausible. But had that rift not happened, had KD not gotten injured, like they would have won 5 or 6 straight championships. Like if as long as they had health, no one could beat that team because they were so good defensively, but they were also unguardable offensively with the Curry and Durant dynamic. So, I don't know if maybe Durant looks back now in private moments and regrets leaving Golden State, thinks maybe he likely should have stayed there. I don't know. But I guess we'll never know. But, KD probably would never answer it honestly anyway, because he just really loves the process of playing basketball. So like, as long as he's still doing that, like he's going to enjoy himself, I'm sure. Stephanie is in next. Many thanks to you, Stephanie. Again, I don't know if you were on. I think you were, because I read one of your comments earlier when you said that Lester's going to have to wait a moment. That was I thought that was a nice little shot at Lester and his banana obsession. But Stephanie, welcome back in to the sponsor area of the lounge. Thank you again, as always, for being here. And Gary, what is the question or comment from Stephanie tonight?
Scott, what would you say to people that say that LeBron should have 9 MVPs and that the Cavs are nothing without him and will always need him?
Well, yeah, I think it's ridiculous the narrative that LeBron should have the 9 MVPs. I think there are probably years that LeBron could have had an MVP, but I think there are multiple years that he has MVPs that he shouldn't. I think Kobe Bryant should have had at least one of those MVPs in whatever it was, 08 and 09 or whatever. I think maybe 09, 10. I don't know. I get those years confused. But the last 2 years LeBron was in Cleveland, the 2 years that Kobe won the NBA championship, Kobe was the number 1 seed in the West, back-to-back years, a very, very difficult Western Conference, loaded Western Conference, with the 8th seed was winning 50 games at that time. For him to be the 1 seed with a team that, look, it wasn't that good. Like the Gasol, yes, they finally got Gasol at the 07-08 deadline. But before that, before they added Gasol at the 07-08 deadline, I just checked this yesterday. The Lakers were so bad coming into 07-08. They were the 8th odds-on favorite in the preseason to win the West and the 15th shortest odds to win the championship. They had the 15th best odds in 07-08 to win the title. And that was coming off of back-to-back years where Kobe led the league in scoring and was first-team All-NBA defense. That's how bad that team was. They just added Gasol, and it wasn't even adding Gasol because Bynum got hurt that year and tore his knee and was out for the remainder of the year. So it wasn't even adding Gasol. They basically flipped Gasol and Bynum, and Kobe went to the NBA Finals that year. Then the next 2 years with basically that same principal team that was ass, other than the addition of Gasol, he then wins the 1 seed in the West both years and wins the championship. Historical precedent would indicate that an all-time legend in Kobe Bryant, who was the best player on the best team, should have had at least one of those 2 MVPs. LeBron got them both, and then lost to the 2 teams that Kobe ultimately beat in the playoffs. So I think that's at least one that LeBron shouldn't have. Then he got 2 in Miami. Look, when you are in that bad of a conference, and you go to the only other good player in the whole conference's team in Dwayne Wade, and then bring like the 3rd or 4th best player in the conference and Chris Bosh along with you, you invalidate yourself entirely from being the MVP, in my opinion. Like, you don't get to be the MVP at all those 4 years when you're on that super team. Shaq and Kobe played 8 years together. Cumulatively, they had 1 total MVP. Kevin Durant and Steph Curry played 3 full years together. They had no MVPs. When you have these super pairings, you don't get to win MVPs. That's just part of the deal. Yet, LeBron won 2 MVPs in 4 of the seasons he was in Miami. I don't think he deserves either of those 2. And in fact, he didn't even have the 1 seed, I don't think, in either of the years. I think maybe the 1 year. I think they did have like 66 wins the 1 year, and they were the 1 seed. The next year, he had like the 3rd best record in the league. You have a super team. He wasn't even the 1 seed in his own conference that year, and he got the MVP. So quite frankly, LeBron, yes, maybe there are 2 years or 3 years even that you can find that he should have had that he didn't get. Okay, but he has 3, I think, that he shouldn't have. So it all washes out. I think maybe LeBron should have 3 or 4 MVPs. He has 4 MVPs. Like Nikola Jokic should have 5. He only has 3. Michael Jordan should have like 8 or 9. He has 5. Kobe Bryant should have 3 or 4. He has 1. Like, those are the guys that have less than what they should. I don't want to hear this crying over spilled milk of LeBron should have 9. He shouldn't. That's BS. That is just the bootlickers and jock sniffers, Stephanie, which are the same people, obviously, that keep, going on and on about him being needed by the Cavaliers. He stabbed Cleveland in the back, not once, but twice. Spit in their face, stabbed them in the back. If I were Cleveland, and maybe Dan, what's his name? Dan, what's the owner of the name? It's eluding. What is it, Gary?
Sorry, I was on mute. Dan Gilbert.
Dan Gilbert. Thank you. Yes. If Dan Gilbert has any stones, which I think he does because he hates LeBron, remember Dan Gilbert wrote that letter when LeBron left the first time and basically called him like, a classless scumbag, essentially, and that may he be cursed for all of time and not win any championships until he comes back and makes it right for Cleveland. Ultimately, we know he did win in Miami after he left, and then he did go back and win one with Cleveland. Nonetheless, if Dan Gilbert has any stones, he would not put up a statue of LeBron James outside of that arena because he stabbed him in the back 2 times. once in excruciating fashion on live TV. He didn't tell the organization that he was leaving in 2011 to go to Miami. They had to watch and find out on the ESPN special, the decision. Pathetic, classless. So I don't know. Quite frankly, I come across, Stephanie, fans of Cleveland and people that were born and raised in Cleveland and longtime Cleveland sports fans that do love LeBron and think they like owe something, some debt of gratitude to LeBron for getting them their one and only championship in any sport in like whatever, like a century. But quite frankly, I don't get it. If I were a Cleveland sports fan, I would hate the ground that LeBron walks on for stabbing me in the back 2 times. So I don't understand it, Stephanie. But thank you again for coming on, and thank you for your continued support here of us. We've got Bands Nabs in next, who is a regular here in the lounge. Thanks to you. So let's get. I do not believe. Oh wait, he said in his 23rd year. So go ahead and read this one, Gary.
Shams said LeBron retiring in his 23rd year. Shameless.
So that would be obviously after the next season, because this is his 22nd season right now. So making it to year 23 for a guy that could never match up with number 23 and Michael Jordan. I don't know. We'll see. I think it ultimately, I think LeBron's depreciating his career. We've talked about this from time to time on here, how the longevity is now working in reverse and actually impairing him. His legacy is hurting him, his case moving forward, I think. But physically, the guy looks like he's never gonna wane or diminish. And the cliff comes for everybody at some point. It always arrives. And look, we don't know what extra kind of things LeBron is doing off the court. I don't want to speculate here about how he might be enhancing his longevity off the court. Some other people, such as Kevin Garnett and whoever, the Shao Sonnen, the former MMA fighter, have speculated on what some of those things that LeBron's been doing to increase his longevity might be. I will not speculate on it here. I have in other videos though. But it looks like this guy, physically, is still one of the best athletes in the entire NBA, and he's going to be 41 next year. So I think he honestly probably could play till he's 45, 46 if he wanted to. But does he want to do it? Does he want to go through the grind? Does he want to keep doing the seasons? Does he want to keep, to me, diminishing the overall quality of his legacy with more continued failures playing at this kind of a level with elite supporting casts? I don't know. I think maybe next year does make a lot of sense for him to retire at the end of next year, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see what Luka Doncic does. If Luka does sign the extension this year in LA and he's netted for 4 or 5 years with the Lakers, maybe LeBron wants to hitch his wagon to that and play out a couple more years. I just don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I don't know if that is a credible or actual Shams report. So I'll have to look into that when we get off of here. But thank you, Bands Nabs. Next, we've got Xavier DeGodin with another lengthy rank piece here. He asks us to rank 10 players from time to time. This is another one. So it says best currently. I don't know if that means best right now or their legacy right now. I'm not sure. But go ahead and read it, and I guess we'll have to interpret what exactly he means by right now. Go ahead, Gary.
Skap and Gary, rate these players from worst to best currently. Jokic, Giannis, Luka, SGA, Tatum, Booker, Ant, Ja, Mitchell, Curry, KD, AD, and LeBron. Well, Xavier, I think that's kind of hard to do because you've got young guys, old guys, and middle-aged guys. So that's hard to do. If you're saying from going into the 2025, 26 season, obviously – we're going to agree that Jokic is number 1 on this list, and probably Giannis would probably be number 2, maybe Luka, but I'd probably say Giannis. And then
I don't know. I think SGA. I think for me it's Jokic and Giannis, but I think SGA. I think coming into this year for me it was probably Jokic, Giannis, Luka, SGA. I think SGA has leaped Luka, so I think it's Jokic, Giannis, SGA, and Luka. And you can make a case, I think, for SGA once they resoundingly win this title that he might jump Giannis. So to me, those are the top 4. And then look, Tatum has a ruptured Achilles, so he ain't going to play next year at all. And Gary, I don't know if he's ever going to be back the same as he was before.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Tatum probably would have been next on my list, maybe after those 4, but now I just don't know with that injury. I just don't know. I think after that, probably, I don't know. This is tough. Maybe if we're going right now, going into 2026, 2027, I think you have to make, I don't know, probably Curry the worst. So working back from the 4 I just gave, this is quite a lengthy rank piece. I would say the 4 I just gave, being Jokic, Giannis, SGA, and Luka. Then working backwards, I'd say probably Curry worst. Nah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's between Curry and John Morant and Donovan Mitchell as last. So I would probably say maybe I don't know, John Morant. I don't know, Booker too. This is tough, Gary. It is.
Yeah, it's too many players to put at different stages of their career. Yeah, I mean, these guys, Booker, Ant, Ja, Mitchell, they're going to be more towards the end. Well, Mitchell could actually rise up. Who knows? He's on the border of going into superstardom if he can stay on that pace. He's just been a little inconsistent. Mitchell has, but he's at times is really good, and other times he just is a little underwhelming.
Yeah, I would say there's waves, there's tiers. Let's just do that, Xavier. I would say there's tiers. There's Jokic, Giannis, Luka, and SGA, I think, are like the top tier there. And then there's like a middle tier, which would be like Mitchell, AD if healthy, like Ant, and then like the lesser tier to me would be like Curry, KD, LeBron, just because they're all so old now at this point. And then like Ja and Booker, I would say like are in that's, and then honestly, quite frankly, I'd say Jokic might be in his own tier alone. So, but those that I would say that this is tier relative, and I hope that Tatum gets back healthy because he's a great. I've been critical of him before on my channel, and but he's a great kid. He's a good person, and he's a good player. I think he's not. He just doesn't have the killer instinct or mentality. He chokes from time to time in big moments. But like I just said, he's like a top 5 play. He's like the 5th best player to me, though, from a year in, year out standpoint. So I hope and he's a Kobe guy. So I hope he gets back sometime soon and as healthy as he could possibly be. We've got the enforcer in next. We talked a lot already about Westbrook. I hate to delve back into it, but we will read it and because the enforcer is such a great sponsor and a great friend to the show here in the lounge. So Gary, go ahead and read I delivered my spirited defense of Russ earlier, and he's kind of backing my defense of Russ up.
The Westbrook hate has been almost as criminal as LaFraud, jock sniffing, and pretend goading. No, not the same category at all.
So yeah, I don't know if I would go to that length with my spirited Russ defense, because I understand the criticisms. I just still am going to defend him, and there's just still something about me that really likes and wants to support Russ. Like even this year, like I love the Nuggets. I love Nikola Jokic. Like I was rooting for them tooth and nail. Like I want nothing more on an NBA court than to see the Nuggets succeed. And Russ was on that team, and there's good Russ and bad Russ, and there was a lot of bad Russ this year. And even watching and struggling and suffering through a lot of bad Russ this year, I still have just a warm spot in a soft spot in my heart for Russ. There's still just something about me that really likes Russ.
Like how I am with Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
I love Jamal Murray regardless because of what he did to the Lakers in 2023 and 2024, especially. I'm always going to love Murray, even when he craps his pants. I'm still going to be a Murray guy because I appreciate him.
Okay, here we go. We've got a funny comment here from Lightspeed coming up. I didn't see the whole thing, but I know there's something involving my ring. So go ahead and read the comment for us. And thank you, Lightspeed, for coming on and supporting us. Gary, what's this Lightspeed comment about?
I do not support this, by the way. Who else thinks Skap should take the wedding ring off for the after dark session. So are you saying if he does a live stream in the daytime, he should have it on and take it off at night for some reason? Didn't see the game. Did Cat seem to pull up okay?
Lightsby, thank you. I will say this about Cat. I'll just avoid your other comment. That Cat had a great game tonight, and I think he's had. I don't know if you joined late. This comment is from about a half an hour ago. I opened talking about Karl Anthony Towns. I talked often throughout the beginning portion of the live here tonight in the lounge area, talking very favorably about Cat. He seemed pretty good to me tonight for the most part. He had a great game, 24 and 11. He led the team in plus minus. I think he was plus 23. That was the best of the team. And I think he really keyed them early on, I think. And Brunson, of course, is there, but Brunson's always going to be there. Cat, to me, has been monumental in the games that they've won in this series. In the 2 games that they've won, he's been the guy. And all postseason, quite frankly, I think he's been a really solid performer and a very worthy All-NBA designated player this year. So again, cannot be more favorable or speak more glowingly about Karl Anthony Towns and what he's done. And I still, regardless of what the diagnosis is of the knee, I don't know really the extent of what it was, but it was hurt at the end of the last game, and he still came out and put forth the effort tonight, the performance he did tonight. So shout out to Cat for sure. Xavier is back in. Xavier loves the ranks. Xavier is all over these rank questions. I like it, an all-time Laker rank. Give it to us here, Gary. I'm interested to see this.
Top 5 Lakers, 1 Kobe, 2 Magic, 3 Kareem, 4 Shaq, 5 West.
I think I mostly agree with this list, although I don't know. I just don't know. Like 8 years for Shaq, is that enough?
We don't know nothing about West, do we?
What's that?
The only question really is West. Is he belong at 5 or maybe 4, possibly even 3? And was West a Laker for his entire career, or did he switch teams?
Yep, and that's exactly where I'm going with Gary. Jerry West, to me, I believe I said he was 1-8. I think he was 1-8 in the finals. But this guy was a lifelong Laker, as was Magic, as was Kobe. 3 lifelong Cats. There's been a lot of great players who've put on the old golden armor. Like basically half of the top 12 all-time players probably were Lakers at some point. So there's been a lot of all-time legends to don that uniform. And I'd say, like, of all of them, though, Kobe, Magic, and West are the ones that stand separate and apart for me, because they were oh, hello there, little Luna. They were lifelong guys, and they were ambassadors of the sport, each to their own right. And I think just their what they meant, even to just Los Angeles, as a city in general, especially Magic and Kobe. I would put those 3 guys above the others and above all else, to be honest with you. And like Kareem, while Kareem to me is an all-time great player, like Mount Rushmore quality player to me, whereas Jerry West isn't. But Kareem's best years really were in Milwaukee. Like he was individually better with the Bucks. Like he played a long career in Milwaukee before he even got to LA. So I think I don't necessarily disagree with your list, more so just the order, and maybe not Shaq. Like maybe I would find somebody other than Shaq, but I don't know. I guess, he does have 3 rings and he was very dominant. So maybe Shaq does belong on there, but to me, he would be a distant 5. But good list there, Xavier. I like it. I like the question. And you didn't make us rank like 27 guys on that one, so I like that too. Next, we've got Vacation Wealth Partners is in again, another very generous benefactor and sponsor of us here. Seems to come in here every night with a nice generous donation. So welcome back in, Vacation Wealth Partners, and shout out to you. I appreciate it. And Gary, what's the question or comment tonight?
Popping in to show y'all some love. Skap, how beautiful would it be if LaSissy signed trade the Cavs for Allen and Garland, with Cavs getting Lakers 2031 pick? Second, Gary, sorry you've got 4 cats. I've got 5. LOL. Appreciate y'all.
So just a couple cat guys, just a couple cat bros commiserating here. I like it. I'm more of a dog person, though. I did have a cat in a previous life, in a previous relationship. I loved the cat. She was a hairless Sphinx cat named Yoda. And I had a similar relationship, probably not quite to the level that I'm with Luna right now. Of course, my assistant and best friend, who is being naughty right now. She's digging around the room, and she's on my hours now. After like 2 months of playoff basketball or whatever it's been, she now gets up later and sleeps in and naps throughout the day. So she is now ready to play at nearly 1 a.m. But so I did have a cat in my past that I was very close with, but primarily throughout my life, I've been more of a dog person. But in general, I just love animals, all shapes and sizes. Luna is again scratching at the door. But to answer your question, Vacation Wealth Partners, thank you for coming in, though, and showing us the love. We do appreciate it. I do not think the Cavaliers want any part of the Lakers or any part of LeBron James, particularly not at the expense of any primary rotational pieces. And I think Garland is a primary rotational piece. I think Garland's their second or third most important player. So I do not see that happening at all. I hope it doesn't happen because I like the Cavs. I like this iteration of the Cavs. Also, I think our girl Stephanie is a big Cavs fan. So I don't want to see Stephanie have to deal with this. But other than that, again, thank you for your support, and shout out to your 4 cats too, by the way. Next in, we've got Xavier again. Xavier loves to just come in with all of these supers. Let's see if he has any more, and we can this is the last one from Xavier. Xavier, go ahead. Thank you, Xavier. Gary, go ahead and read Xavier's latest super chat to us.
LeBron starts with L, and he takes a lot of thoses.
He certainly does. LeBron, you can't spell LeBron without an L, and he does have 6 of them in the NBA Finals. Not the most. He does not have the most finals losses, as we've been over. That would be Jerry West, unfortunately, I think. Luna's in with a squeak toy, everyone. She's got her favorite new toy. It is some kind of a green worm thing. I'm sure, Gary, can you hear that? Can you hear the squeaking?
I can hear it, yes.
So Luna's saying hi with her squeak toy. I'll see if Cindy here can maybe corral her and get can get her. Yep, she's really going off on that toy, guys. Anyway, while he does not have the most finals losses in terms of the series of finals, but he does have the most individual losses in games played within the finals. I think it is 33 games lost in the final series. I think he's 22-33 off the top of my head. So we know that's just a putrid ass of a record. So great point, Xavier. Next in, we've got Samson, the current. Gary, you don't have to rush back, Gary. Okay, Gary is back. Go ahead and read that one from Samson, the current. And Samson, thank you very much. I know you're a regular here as well. Thank you for your continued support of us. Gary, what does Samson have for us tonight?
Day late, but what's wrong with the heart of Ant-Man?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't like what I'm seeing here. I mean, I didn't look. Ant-Man, as I've detailed before, has some classless antics throughout his past at times, where he's dancing around like a damn fool on the court when he wins. Then when he loses, he's slipping out of games like with 20 seconds left, taking his jersey off, not shaking anybody's hands, pouting in the press conferences. But at least that Ant-Man is showing me competitiveness. And a hatred of losing. The Ant-Man I saw last night is just sad. I don't like the looks of it at all, where he's saying like, oh, I'm excited to lose. Oh, I'll be back here a lot. I'm 23 years old. Like, they're a great team. Like, hats off to them. I'm happy for them. Really? You're happy for them. Like, oh, you'll be back plenty of times. Like, you're excited. Like, I hate this. It's like a Joel Embiid transition. Like when Joel Embiid remember when he lost to the Raptors and he was walking off the court after that Game 7 loss in the semis in tears. And then now a couple years later, all of a sudden he's laughing and joking and quoting Giannis Antetokounmpo out of context to some degree, by the way, saying, oh, there's no failure in sports, as he's like fighting back laughter and giggling like a damn school-aged boy playing around after getting eliminated from the playoffs. So it's kind of like a role reversal for Ant-Man now that I saw with Joel Embiid. I don't know what it is. It's weird. Hopefully, it's I don't know. Hopefully, maybe he was just struck and shocked by how good, by the speed, the team defense, and the activity of the Thunder, and basically he just knew he had no damn chance at all at winning that series, and maybe that's why he was playing tongue in cheek or being a little coy after that game. Hopefully, that's not his new attitude moving forward. That would be a shame for sure. The enforcer now is back in. Enforcer, I believe the enforcer let us off tonight, so the enforcer is back in now here towards the bottom of our supers. Go ahead and read this latest one from the enforcer, and thank you, enforcer.
Debate topic for now, or possibly a future video. Who is the better player and who is the least respectable, Draymond or Artest? If I was an NBA player, I wouldn't be afraid of Draymond. I would have been terrified of Artest. I think the thing is, the difference, Draymond's just like an emotional girl, where Artest, I think something wasn't right in his head, which made him extremely intimidating. Because you never remember that elbow he did to Harden? That was like, I don't think that was planned. I think that was just a reaction in his mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an interesting question, simply because I don't really know how to answer in the sense that I think Artest was probably a better player at his peak. I think his peak prime Artest was better. I think for a career standpoint, Draymond Green is probably regarded as being the better career player. I think I'm usually a peak guy over career. I mean, but Draymond does have the 4 titles. Artest, though, of course, has a pretty important title to me, the 2010 Lakers one. I think I probably would take Artest, and I think Artest is probably the more respected player as well. I think Draymond, at least by me, I don't know about by other players. Sure, I mean, fear does equal respect to some degree, and I think Gary's right. I think that Artest was the more feared player. Draymond tries to be like that enforcer, bully player, but like Artest just was that. Like Artest was just like a warrior. He just was like an old school, like Old Testament style NBA player, like a Charles Oakley type player that quite frankly, you get the sense like, okay, whatever. Draymond Green is going to do these antics on the court, but like Artest would take you outside and like beat the shit out of you, like in a street fight. So, I think he was a better player at his peak. Like Artest, like, look, I think they both, let me see exactly. I think Artest, I think he has one All-NBA, or I think he has one NBA Defensive Player of the Year award. I just want to make sure he doesn't have 2. No, he just has 1, and I think Draymond just has 1. But look, Artest averaged like 20 points per game multiple times throughout his career. Like Draymond Green is what, like a 7 or 8 point per game career score? Like what's Draymond Green's, like, what's his top point per game output in a season? Like 12, maybe like 12, 13 points per game one year. Okay, 14. He averaged 14 one year and then never more than 11.7. And then for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight years, he's been in single digits in point per game average. So like, I'm taking Artest if it's me, for my money. But good question, enforcer, and a fair question, I think. Next in, Will N again. Will N, big fan of the show, a fan of the lounge, and a very gracious and hospitable sponsor of us. So many thanks to you, Will. And Gary, what is this latest, most recent question from Will N?
Okay, this comment has a punchline at the end of it.
Okay.
It's clearly a joke.
Okay.
This will sound like a hot take, yeah. But I believe the 2019 Raptors would still have a decent chance to beat a healthy Warriors team. Now, I disagree with that, but that's not the punchline. The punchline's coming up. Keep in mind the Raptors had a good series against a stacked Sixers team. Okay, you don't compare that Sixers team to the Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors. This take is not only a hot take, it needs to go in the incinerator.
Yeah, I mean, I love you, Will, and I appreciate you, but yeah, I gotta disagree here. I think like that team was good, actually. That the Sixers team was good. It had Joel Embiid, playoff Jimmy Butler. Of course, Tobias Harris over me. Tobias Harris was on that team, and then they actually had Bum Simmons on that team too, when he wasn't a bum. Like Ben Simmons was actually like a viable, promising young star who made a couple All-Star appearances at that point. Yes, hello, Luna. So I think that team was good, but they didn't. I wouldn't say they had a good series. I mean, it took 7 games and a dribbling, bouncing, buzzer-beating shot. Either I think at the end of overtime or the end of regulation, for a walk-off win in that series by the Raptors. I think they got taken 6 in the NBA Finals with Durant missing. I think he missed we figured this out the other night. I think he missed the first 4 games of that series, and then of course he missed the last one along with Klay Thompson. So I think the Warriors easily would have won that series easily in 5 games probably had they been at full health. But thank you, Willen, for coming back in and for your continued support. And now we do have the prolific Xavier, who is just coming in here with 3 consecutive super chats, 3 consecutive questions. But I'm going to jump ahead real quick to Master PM, who is a huge friend of the show, big fan of me. So I just want to give Master PM a quick shout out here. Thank you very much for your continued support of us here and your generosity. And generally, it's not, Master PM doesn't necessarily have really a question or a comment. Just wants to drop us some money and thank us for what we're doing out here. So I just wanted to give Master PM that quick shout out. And thank you so much. And then real quick, Lester's Banana is back in as well. So I just want to leap to Lester's Banana real quick. And then we will get to the 3 straight Xavier DeGod comments here. What, though, is Lester's Banana's question or comment?
To maintain the Raptor theme, the Toronto WNBA expansion team should be called the Toronto Thirst Traptors.
Lester, you have these comments. I'll tell you, these are some very clever, and amusing comments. I don't think I'm going to wrap myself up too much in this one. I'm not going to wrap myself up in trying to respond to this one. I think the WNBA would reject your premise of this name. Maybe you can see if some of them could eat a banana on a live stream for you or something, though. I think the answer would likely be no for that as well. Next in, we've got Xavier with these aforementioned 3 successive super chats. So thank you, Lester. Gary, let's read the first one here.
Well, Xavier's way off base here. LeBron should break the most finals L's record. Xavier, he's never going to get to another finals because he can't make it out of the first round. So.
And he's in the Western Conference, which is absolutely stupidly stacked. So again, I actually do not think he will make it back to another final. So I do agree with you on that one, Gary. Okay, what's the next? Oh boy, another involved Xavier question. Holy cow! But go ahead and read it, Gary.
Who are the top 5 big men in the NBA right now?
I mean, this is a tough one. I mean, are we assuming health with players or not assuming health?
Yeah, let's assume health. So we're going to go Jokic, Giannis, Wemby, Şengün, Holmgren.
Well, I think of Giannis more as a 3-4. So I'm thinking these are like centers. So I think he wants centers.
Wait, you say 3-4? 3 is a small forward, not a small forward.
I mean, yeah, Giannis is more of a 4. I mean, if Giannis is a big man, then Giannis. If we're assuming health and we're talking centers, I think Jokic, Wembanyama, Şengün, yeah, probably.
Holmgren?
I'd say Chet is probably in the mix. I could see him in the mix. Domantas Sabonis is a center, I think, a classified center. He is certainly in the mix, I think, as well.
Anthony Davis.
Well, yeah, Davis doesn't like playing center, though, Gary. As
He's
we know,
okay.
he wants to play forward all the time. He complains all the time about it. But yes, if we're going 4s and 5s, yes, he would be in the mix. But yeah, I'd say we've already named. I think we already named 5. We did not name. Sorry, what'd you say, Gary?
You like Cat.
I do like Cat. I don't know if he cracked the top 5. Look, if he's healthy, Joel Embiid is in the mix too. So like that's why I said, are we assuming health? I think if we're assuming health and we're talking centers only, it's probably Jokic, Wemby, Embiid in that order. But look, Wemby has health concerns as well. So like, but if we're assuming health, I'd say it's those 3 in that order, and then probably like, I don't know, maybe Sabonis would be my next guy at center, possibly. And then I don't know. It's a toss up between some of these other guys. I think Chet would maybe be in the mix depending on how things start out for him next year. But yeah, that's a good question, actually, Xavier. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat, and thank you for your question. And finally, I believe this is our last one, and it is fittingly from Xavier. What is it, Gary? Go ahead and read it.
Gary, you wouldn't be scared to get hit in the balls? He's talking about Draymond and Ron Artest. Let me tell you this. If I was an NBA player and Draymond did to me, I would beat the shit out of that guy. I'm serious. I would not be afraid of Draymond Green. I'm sorry. Ron Artest, on the other hand, I'd be running. I'd be like, hold me back to the teammates. But I would not mess with Ron Artest.
Yeah, I mean, like just when you really like look at the mentality of it, like, all right, yes, we've seen Draymond throw a punch in the NBA against some guy who was 50 pounds lighter than him and his teammate, and it was a sucker punch in a practice. Other than that, we've seen him mix it up. Okay, he put Rudy Gobert in a headlock. Like, but okay, sure. Like he did that cheap shot jump spring off of Sabonis' chest when Sabonis was on the ground. Like, look at the mentality of Ron Artest in that Malice in the Palace when he was laying on the scorer's table and the drink hit him or whatever. That dude just got up, ran and jumped into like the stands and just wanted to fight like 25 fans at one time. Like that, he is insane, and he is not one to be messed with, I don't think. Like Ron Artest is he's something else, that guy, and he is one of like the top guys I would not want to see in a dark alley by myself. Like he's probably like one of like 5 guys that readily come to mind that I really wouldn't want to mess with in life in general. So I think, yeah, the answer for me, I agree, Gary, is still going to be Ron Artest. And we slipped in another one here from Ian F. Just like a thank you and appreciative super chat. Gary, go ahead and read it.
Thanks for all you do, Skap.
No, Ian, thank you for your support and kindness and generosity and continuing to come in here and just support us and just support just my channel in general. Again, I really am extremely thankful of all of you guys and just very just humbled by the continued support that I'm getting from you guys out here. And we've got another one now in 2 here, Michael Ferguson. Go ahead and read this one from Michael for us, Gary.
The Warriors couldn't win a single game without Curry. What does this say about playoff Butler? What does it say about Curry's place on the Warriors?
Yeah, I mean, Curry's really important. Like, still, even at this stage of his career, like Curry is one of these guys that has. I talk about the on-offs often, and Curry has just an astronomical on-off. He's like basically like just this century, because tracking data for on-offs is tricky going back like before like 98-ish. But so looking at like 2000 to present, like the highest single season on-offs in the NBA in this century, quarter century, if you're looking at it that way, is Kobe, Nikola Jokic, and Steph Curry. So like if you want to say like those are 3 of the more valuable players of this century, like I wouldn't give not much of a pushback on it. So, and like not only they were blowing Minnesota out in game 1, like when Curry got hurt, like, and they ended up holding on, they ended up winning that game 1, and then they won not another game. And they beat a good Houston team in the first round with Curry. So yeah, there's no doubt about it. Steph Curry is one of the more valuable players we've ever seen, at least within the last like 3 decades. So despite the fact that he does not play a shred of defense, and we know what I think of, we know what I think of, at least of defense and that side of the ball. So Curry, I think a huge component of winning the championships that they did for Golden State was the defense, and Curry really was not a part of that at all. But still, he is obviously very, very, very invaluable, I would say, offensively. He adds, like, even this year he added on. They lost a ton when he was on defense, like in the on-offs, like they got a lot worse, but he added like 18 points offensively when he was on the court. So like, obviously they could not overcome that. And then, yeah, I think Jimmy Butler, I think it's maybe a little overstated. I think the legend that he's carved out, the fact that this dude's called Playoff Jimmy, and he, okay, he's been to 2 finals, but in the Eastern Conference, and like, I mean, one of them was the bubble too. So like, I don't really put much stock in the bubble. And then look, the Boston just choked in that second run he made. Giannis was hurt in the first series that they won, in that Milwaukee Heat series, in that next one. So, I mean, look, now he's in the big boy conference too. Like LeBron, who dominated these for years. Then when he went west, it didn't go so well. Same deal with Jimmy, I feel like. This year, though they were very good with Jimmy, though, in fairness to him, after the trade deadline, they were like 500 with just Curry and no Jimmy this year in the regular season. Then like with Jimmy in the roster at in the later stages of the regular season, they were like 21-4 or something like that with Jimmy in the lineup. So I think really he was important to them, but they just couldn't overcome. I think it would have been a glaring absence as well had Jimmy got hurt and Steph stayed in the playoffs. But I just think it was probably more noticeable with Steph. Steph was more valuable than Butler. But thank you, Michael, for coming in here, and thank you for your support. And I think Michael followed up us answering the question. So go ahead and read that one for us, Gary.
Thanks for answering. You're the best. Love the channel.
Oh, no. Thank you, Michael. You're the best. I appreciate your kind words and your ongoing support. Really, I do appreciate you and all of the rest of you that are on here. These guys, these like over 200 some people that, again, I feel like I could, like, no matter what, just come on here. And like these people will be on here pretty much no matter what, any time of day or night, it feels like. So I so much do appreciate all of you guys. And Xavier has come back in again with like his whatever 7th super chat of the night here. What does this most recent one say, Gary?
Do you guys consider being dunked on, getting your ankles broken, or a 3 splash in your face embarrassing? And which one is the most embarrassing? It's part of the game. I don't think it's that embarrassing. I think it's part of the game. Unless you're talking a lot of trash and then somebody does something like that, like LeBron, then like talking about a championship he's going to win and then getting outplayed by the Mavericks. That's embarrassing. But yeah, it's part of the game. You're going to get dunked on. People are going to make threes. People are going to cross you over. I actually don't like the way some people are like, ooh and ah, when those things happen. It's part of the game. Iverson crossed over Jordan. If you remember, it doesn't mean Iverson's better.
But Jordan, okay, so Jordan, look, I will say this. I think it is embarrassing depending, like, if you're an elite rim protector, let's say, and you get dunked on, like, it's embarrassing.
It's gonna happen.
Like when Jordan dunked on Dikembe and was like waving his finger in his face,
that was hilarious.
That's embarrassing, like, for Dikembe, because he's a well-known, well-renowned rim protector. And then, but other than that, like, threes, like, everybody's shooting threes today. Like, everybody's jacking these things up. Like, you're gonna get a 3 hit in your face. I think it's pretty benign to get a 3 shot in your face. I'll say the one thing though: if you fall to the ground, like if you are guarding the ball, like Jordan got rocked by Iverson, true. Like in Iverson's early, like either rookie or second year, like Iverson crossed and then rocked Jordan back, and Jordan stumbled like a little bit, but still got back and contested the shot. And Iverson made the shot though. But if you fall to the ground, Like if someone like puts a move on you and
Yeah.
you trip and lose your balance and hit the ground, that's pretty embarrassing.
I think that's worse than getting dunked on.
For sure.
I agree. I didn't think that Kimbe getting dunked on by Jordan was embarrassing. He's the greatest player of all time. I thought it was hilarious, and I loved. That's how the game's supposed to be. We trash talk each other and we have fun. It's supposed to be affectionate trash talking. It's not supposed to be heated, ready to kill each other. Like some of those Knicks Heat games where the malice at the palace. I'm like, okay, this is stressful. I just loved the trash talking and the Kimbe saying you'll never dunk on me, and then Jordan dunking on him. It's just hilarious and it's fun.
Guys, I don't know if you can see little Luna here. She's really desperately wants to play, and she wants me to throw her squeaky toy for her. But we do have a couple more. We do have a couple more super chats here, so I will keep going. Sorry, Luna, you must wait. You must wait a little bit longer for me to throw your squeaky toy, because we have Massive Dumper back in, one of my favorite handles in the lounge here. Welcome back in, Massive Dumper. And what is the question or comment? Bringing us back, it looks like full circle to the game we started with talking about tonight for the first roughly 40 minutes of our show here. What does Massive Dumper have for us, Gary?
Not a doubt in my mind the Knicks would win tonight to start the inevitable comeback. They just have a flair for the dramatic. Okay, Massive Dumper. Hold on. You can let us know in the chat. I'll check it out. Are you saying that the Knicks are going to win this series in 7? Because
Gary, that's exactly what he's saying. That's exactly what I'm reading into it. And so I agree full-heartedly with half of this comment, and I disagree completely with the other half. I too had close to no reservations that the Knicks would win once we learned about 10, 15 minutes before tip-off that Karl Anthony Towns would be a go. And then when we saw the way he came out. But the fact that they're going to come back and win it in 7, I'm not buying it. I'll believe it when I see it, and I won't believe it till I see it. Even if they somehow stave off elimination in Indiana, Gary, I am kind of with you. I think it would just be so apropos for the series as a whole if they won to get all the way back to a Game 7 in New York and then blew that game somehow in the Garden. So we'll have to wait and see. Massive Dumper, but I wouldn't count on this comeback if I were you. Lester is probably the one counting on that banana being eaten at some point within the next 2 to 3 days. Next in, we've got Summer Wine 171. Summer Wine, welcome into you. Thank you for sliding into the lounge here and supporting us here in the sponsors area. What is the question or comment from Summer Wine, Gary?
Do you think LeSperm actually has NBA potential? Someone like him averaging 5 points, getting drafted feels gross.
It's hard to say. What I saw of him in the NBA this year, I don't think so. I did not watch enough of him in the G League, and I know that he had some good games in the G League this year, but I didn't see any of them. I was more so just commenting on the putrid and inept play that he put forth throughout most of the season in the NBA. I know that he does not belong on an NBA arena right now. Like, he didn't belong this year. I doubt he'll belong next year. He ain't ready. Not yet, not now, not close. So I think, though, he did, according to others that saw him play in the G League, did flash potential for maybe some kind of a future upside potentially at the NBA level. But, what capacity that is, I think it's not going to be anywhere near, I don't think like even a starting caliber player, certainly not like, a fringe all-star caliber player or anything like that. I think maybe he could be like a useful, like 7th or 8th man in the rotation. So not even like a top guy off a bench, but that would be, I think we're a couple years removed still from that. So that I hope that answered your question. I think it is. And it does feel gross, obviously, that he was 55th picked. He was probably maybe the 100 to 120th top prospect that was eligible for drafting, and he got picked at 55. So yes, there is obviously inherently something gross with that. But thank you, Summer Wine, again for the question and for your support. We've got Ian F back in now. Ian, thanks to you for sliding back in with another sponsorship of us here tonight and another question. What is that question or comment, Gary?
Which NBA team logo is the best in your opinion? Regards from Raptorland.
Wow, that is that's kind of a loaded question, actually. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull them up so I can see them all. I just want to see a graphic with all of them. Wow. Well,
do you have any uniforms that stand out as the best to you? That's kind of in the same vein as this.
I mean, I got to be honest with you, because look, I'm known as being like an anti-LeBron kind of advocate here, or proponent, if you will. And it's some of it. Well, I disliked LeBron for years before that, but there's an additional level of disdain now because he's in Kobe's uniform. He's in the team that I rooted for and loved for like 20 freaking years. So to see him in that uniform is disgusting to me in some way. And just the elemental historical aspect of that Lakers logo and like everything that it encompasses from a historical standpoint, all of the all-time greats that have worn it, the fact that Kobe is not simply my favorite athlete of all time, but one of arguably my favorite human beings ever. I just think that I have a soft spot. I have, some blinders on. I think I'm just really prone to want to say that it's got to be the Lakers. And even like from a uniform standpoint, the Lakers, I would say when I'm looking at all the logos right now. And to be honest with you, like they're like nothing really pops to me, quite frankly. Like even like the Lakers outside, like Lakers included, like nothing is like really jumping out at me that I'm looking at it. Gary, do you have a fair? I mean, you're a Spurs fan. Do you like the Spurs?
I do like the Spurs logo a lot. I actually kind of like Memphis's, and I kind of actually like Charlotte's. I think their logo is pretty cool looking.
I kind of like the Kings. Just looking at all of them right now.
Oh yeah, because purple is your favorite color, right?
Correct. So I kind of like the Kings,
and then I kind of like purple and Kings are purple. So there you go.
And I also kind of like the Heat. It's like a flaming ball going through like a rim. Like I think that's kind of cool. So yeah, I would say probably for me the answer would be the Lakers. But good question.
Throw in this other quick comment. I love the Wizards uniforms for whatever reason. I think they look so nice, that the numbers are nice and sleek, and I like the style. But they gotta change the Wizards. I hate that name. It sounds so corny to me. It's like something in the we went from Washington Redskins to Commanders. Even something as simple as if they were to Washington Commanders would be okay. Just go back to the Bullets, Senators, whatever. Utah should not be the Jazz. It should be the New Orleans Jazz. The Utah should be like the Utah Miners or something like that. Some of these team names don't fit the city, and I think they should.
Well, yeah, it's interesting, Gary, because my mom, I don't know if she's watching still. She watches all of my live streams and all of my videos to that point. She like every day she goes on my channel and she watches, like she spends an hour on my channel. So she watches all of my new videos and then watches other videos after she watches my new one for the day. And then she wants me to every night before I come into the live stream here in the lounge, I call her and let her give her the heads up that I'm going on, because she just wants to know when I'm going on. So I know she watched, but sometimes she falls asleep a little early. So I don't know if she's still up at this stage of the stream, but shout out to her if she is watching. And she actually was a big Kobe fan. She liked Steve Nash a lot too during that era, but she liked the Suns. And my mom likes offense and 3-point shooting, but she was a big Kobe fan. She kind of became a Kobe fan to support me in a way, but we went to see a number of games together. We saw a bunch of games when I lived in Philadelphia. She would come into town and we would see games. Kobe play the Sixers. We saw Kobe play LeBron in Cleveland one time. And she went to the the third to last game ever that Kobe played in New Orleans. We went together and we were pretty close to the court. We were like right behind Kobe during that game. But anyway, my mom even though she's a Kobe fan, she has a massive pet peeve with the LA Lakers. And if any of you know, there are no lakes in the city of Los Angeles, not one. But the Lakers moved from Minneapolis, which is the city of 100 lakes or whatever the hell the nickname is. There's a lot of lakes in Minnesota. So they were the Minneapolis Lakers before. So they moved. So Gary, I get what you're saying with you think that because my mom says the same thing. Utah Jazz is ridiculous. That's another one my mom hates. But the thing is, yes, I agree with some of the hate, but also the LA Lakers, I just got done saying, is one of perhaps the most iconic franchises in NBA history, and they really should not be the Lakers, right? Because they carried Lakers from Minneapolis, and there's not even a single damn lake in the city of Los Angeles, so it makes no sense whatsoever. But I get what you're saying. We got Will.
I just want Washington to change. I hate the Washington Wizards name. I hate it, and I love the uniform. So every time I look at the uniforms, and then I see that stupid name, the Wizards, I hate it.
Fair. I won't give much pushback on that. We next have Will N back in yet again. Will N, thank you again for your continued generosity of us. I really do appreciate you. And what is the question, you guys? It's just you're bombarding me. I'm very thankful. We were just about to slide out a couple minutes ago, it felt like, and I am getting hit with all these super chats now. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it. I will answer everyone, but I just want to let you know Luna is disapproving right now of the super chats. I just wanted to let you know. While Gary and I very much appreciate it, Luna is like, WTF, bro, I want you to throw my squeaky toy for me. But let's go ahead and continue on our pursuit to answer these. What is the question from Will and Gary?
Okay, I'm throwing up a comment in the chat section for everyone. Okay, there we go. Do y'all think Mac McClung deserves an NBA contract considering he's a G League MVP? Well, I do believe he would beat LeBron in a slam dunk contest, which is hilarious.
I do. I actually don't know what the thing is with Mac McClung, why he doesn't get to be in the NBA more. He's played 6 total games in the NBA in 3 years. He's 26 years old. In 6 games, he's averaging 6 points per game in 6 games and shooting 43% from the field. He averaged 12.5 points per game in 2 games in 2023, 2024 for Philadelphia. He obviously just comes in right before the slam dunk competition is going to occur and then plays a couple games just to be eligible to compete in the slam dunk contest. But I really don't understand why he's not getting more of a look. When I look at his G League stats by year, he is kind of an elite G League player. No joking aside, the last 2 seasons in 30 and 27 games in the G League, playing 32 and 35 minutes, he's averaged 26 points per game, 26 points per game and over 6 assists. So 26 and 6 a game. And he's a decent 3-point shooter. He shoots 7 3-pointers a game at 40% the one year and at 38% the other year. So he's got athleticism. He can shoot it from the outside. He seems like a good kid. He's small. He's only 6'2", 185, but so what? There's guys that size in the NBA right now. I actually am kind of confused and baffled why it is that Mac McClung hasn't gotten more of a look from any team and actually been given a real viable chance in that league. It's weird to me. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the intricacies or the ins and outs of that league enough to be able to intelligently comment on it. But I'm with you, Will, and I think that he should get a shot. Next, we've got Xavier DeGod back in yet again, following up our team logo conversation. saying that the 2000s had the best logos. So I am a child of the, I was born in the 80s, but really raised in the kind of grew up in the 90s, but really not that you're an adult when you're in your upper teenage years. Hell, I don't think you're an adult even. I know I wasn't an adult even when I was like 25. I'm barely an adult right now at how old I am now. But I'd say like that my more formative years were the 2000s, and that was when I really came to really love the NBA and like Kobe. So I do have, I would agree. I'm big with the 2000s. So I would probably be prone to agree with this from you, Xavier. Next, we've got Massive Dumper back in. Gary, go ahead and read Massive Dumper. Thank you and welcome back in here to the sponsor area. And what is this latest comment, Gary, or question?
Do you think LaFraudulent and Rob Lowe Doppelganger planted Nico Harrison into the Mavericks organization to effectively trade Doncic to the Fakers?
No, I think that it was actually, look, I'm not one for conspiracy theories or leagues are rigged or things, or it's set up, or there's a script or whatever. But I actually do prescribe to the conspiracy theory on this one. I really do. I think that LeBron has been floundering these last couple years. And not only is LeBron their marquee principal guy still, that they're still pumping in their main golden goose ratings wise, but he also controls the Lakers franchise, which is their marquee franchise and their biggest market outside of New York. So I think two birds, one stone. If we could get Luka Doncic, who's shown he's a playoff riser, who took the Mavericks to the finals just last year, if we can get a great player in Luka to pair up with LeBron, will we really substantially increase the opportunity that LeBron will have to go deep into the playoffs, and that the Lakers will get to go deep into the playoffs, and the ratings boom that might equate to. So I really think that the league intervened, and the only part of that never added up to me was like, what were the Mavericks promised though? Like, what were they given to do that? Because it makes no sense until the draft lottery played out. And obviously the deal was from on high, in my estimation. We'll give you Cooper Flagg, this young, like Luka, this 7 years younger than Luka, who's young in his own right at only 26 years old. We'll give you this guy who's 7-8 years younger than Luka to build around for the next, 15 plus years to come, if you can make this happen for us. So I do think that the whole thing was set up from the NBA on high. I really do buy that conspiracy theory. Go ahead, Gary.
I agree, but Nick Wright, I told you, Nick Wright made a good point. He said if it was rigged, why did the Mavericks, if they had made the playoffs, they would not have been in the lottery. He said they were desperately trying to make the playoffs. They brought Anthony Davis back early from injury to try to win, to make the playoffs, and then they even won the first play-in game and barely lost to the Grizzlies in the second one. So if they had to just miss the playoffs, why did they bring AD back? And then why did they win a play-in game and nearly a second play-in game?
It's a fair theory. It's a fair theory, Gary. Here's my retort though to this.
Okay.
If they really care about winning now, if they really do, if that's a legitimate comment that Nico Harrison made, that he's all about these next 3 to 5 years, that's the time frame they're working on. Well, guess what? Guess who doesn't map out for the next 3 to 5 years? Cooper Flagg. Like, you've got an aging out AD who's got like 3 more good years probably, if he can stay healthy. And then whenever Kyrie Irving gets back from that knee injury, the ACL tear, like he's got maybe 3-4 more good years, maybe, if he can recover properly from the knee. So like, why would they keep that? I'll tell you this, Milwaukee will definitively 100% execute a trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo surrounding the number 1 overall pick of this draft. 100%. So if Nico Harrison is legit and he really was all about winning now and the next 3 to 5 year timeline, and they were really legitimately trying to get desperately into these playoffs, then let's go ahead and trade away the number 1 overall pick and bring in Giannis and make it Giannis, AD, and Kyrie and Christie, that young, nice little defensive wing that came along with AD from LA. So we'll see. We'll see. But Nico and Dallas are already on the record of saying they're going to be keeping the number 1 overall pick. So, but we'll see. We'll see what craziness might ensue in the week of the draft. But we'll see. But your point via Nick Wright is not an unfair point. I do agree that that does not quite map out. Next in, we've got RGN Cal 4. Welcome back in, RGN Cal 4. Another regular here in the lounge. What is the question or comment here?
Really think the Knicks can come back? OKC, easy chip.
It doesn't matter who goes, quite frankly. I still think the Pacers in 6, and we don't know. We'll see if they stave off elimination, what that might mean for the line or whatever the odds from Vegas are for the Thunder. But I can tell you this. The Thunder are going to be significant, overwhelming favorites no matter what comes out of the Eastern Conference. It doesn't matter if it's the Knicks or the Pacers. It's going to be a crazy, unbelievable. The Thunder are going to be minus 2,000. To win that series. So it's just going to be an insane. And for those of you that don't know, the closer you get to 0 in Vegas in standard betting odds, the closer you get to 0, the better. So if it's positive, if it's plus, it's bad. The higher the positive number, the worse your odds are. Then once you get to 0, the further away from 0 you get in the negatives, the better. So minus 2,000 in an NBA final series would be ridiculous. But I really do think it's going to be something like that, minus 1,800 or some shit from the odds, no matter which team gets out. I think actually the Knicks will get a little bit more respect from the odds makers than the Pacers will, just because they at least have some capacity to defend a little bit, whereas the Pacers really don't. But we'll see. I think it's going to be Pacers. I think they'll win in 6, and I think they'll be just a historic underdog in the next round. Next in, we've got Xavier DeGod back in. Oh my goodness, a ridiculous. I'm going to have to look this up probably.
No, you can't. No, hold on, time out. You can't look it up. I already know it off the top of my head. It's easy. I'm sure you know it. What are the 4 NBA teams that don't end with S? I can say it if you don't know. I can. It's not hard.
I mean, I have to go by division by division and think about it.
What are the 4 NBA teams that you should know this off the top of your head?
Why I wouldn't know it if I didn't know it though. If it's a trivia question I don't know, I'd have to think about all the teams. All the teams I'm going through in my mind all end in S. Lakers, Warriors, Knicks, Spurs, Celtics. Every team I come up with. Who did you
just say? Who's the last team you just said on the last comment? Team?
What's that?
What's the team you just said?
I just said the Celtics was the last.
No, on the last comment. You weren't talking about the Celtics. Who's the next dynasty?
Oh, the Thunder.
Right there. So, yeah, we're in Florida.
The Heat. Okay, the Heat.
And
the Magic. So the Heat, Magic.
And then who should change? Who should change? What city? What team should change the name of their team because it doesn't make sense? There you go.
So there you have it. That's okay.
I was not going to let you cheat and go to Google.
Yeah, I mean, if I could think about it, I could write down, I could obviously, if I just had a pen and paper, I could write down every NBA team and obviously and every NFL team.
Right.
And I'm not even really big into baseball, but I could do every baseball team I probably don't know. I actually watch more NHL than MLB, but I don't know with all of the recent name changes of teams and stuff or expansion in NHL. I don't know if I could hit every single team, but mostly every team. I probably could name every team in the NHL too, but it's just a matter of me recalling it and knowing it. But I'm glad you could help me through not looking that up. Next, we have Mike Ross back in. Mike Ross, thank you. Welcome in to the sponsor area of the lounge. I appreciate it. And what is the question or comment, Gary, from Mike Ross?
Scott, do you think Edwards is shooting too many threes? I saw people criticizing him settling.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's shooting too many threes. I think he led the NBA in 3-point attempts this year. I don't know if he led it in makes, but I think he led it in attempts. And I think it was somewhere around 10 per game. So let me just go ahead and just confirm that. He shot this year. Well, let me see I'm going to go to the totals just to make sure. I can confirm that he made the most threes with 320, and he took the most attempted threes with 811. And shout out to him for someone who shot 811, led the league in attempts. Look, he did make 40%, 39.5%. So that is a nice percentage. But this guy, I mean, he jumped from 6.7 threes per game last year to 10.3 this year. Someone with this guy's level of dynamic athleticism and ability to assault the rim should not be shooting 10.3 threes a game. It's insane. And let me just I just X'd out of it, unfortunately. Let me go back and look. I can't imagine he averaged more than 20 total attempts per game. Okay, 20 attempts a game. 20.4 attempts total, 10.3 threes. So 50% of this guy's shot attempts on average this year were threes. Way too many. I just don't like it. So yes, Mike Ross, I do. People are criticizing it, I think, and I am one of them. Next in, finally, we've got Stephanie back in. Stephanie, shout out to you. Thank you for still watching. Stephanie, for those of you who might not have been here, nearly 3 hours ago, 2 hours and 50 minutes ago, right before I hit the go live, I saw Stephanie had given us a comment in the live about Lester's banana being disappointed about no banana eating tonight because the Knicks had won and staved off the bananas elimination. So Stephanie is still here now. She made that first comment in the live chat at 10:40, I think. It is now 1:30 at my time, at least. So what is this final super chat we have of the night coming from Stephanie? Stephanie, again, thank you very much.
LeBron back? Heck no, LOL. But there's people that actually want that. It's always about you should be grateful he gave you a ring. I'm fearful that he might come.
So Stephanie obviously is responding to a question earlier about LeBron returning to Cleveland. I actually mentioned Stephanie and speculating that she would not want that, and I'm glad that she came in here and has confirmed the fact that she would not endorse a LeBron return. And Stephanie's obviously a real one because she basically thinks about LeBron in the context of him being a Clevelander in the same way that I would if I was a fan of Cleveland or from Cleveland. So Stephanie and I, not surprisingly to me that we are aligned on this because I typically am seeing eye to eye with Stephanie. So thank you, Stephanie, for coming in and confirming as much for us. And thank you again for yet another super chat and for just being here in general for nearly 3 full hours, which pretty much all of you have been. I feel like we've been bouncing between like 220 and 300 people throughout the night in here, and it's just still like 230. So I just think you guys would, for whatever reason, just listen to me talk all night if you could. But guys, Luna needs the squeaky toy thrown to her, and she needs to go to the bathroom. Now, actually, poor Luna is now falling asleep on the pillow behind me. Because she has been waiting patiently for so long for the squeaky toy. So I'm going to have to now wake my poor best friend / assistant up and take her out to the bathroom and throw her squeaky toy for her now at like 1:30 in the morning. So we are going to wrap up this latest rendition here of the Skap Live After Dark Lounge. Again, another good one, I think. Thank you guys so much again for your continued support and generosity and just your time in spending all of this time listening to me and all the random shit I have to say. Gary, many thanks to you, moderator Gary, as usual, for being out here and being with us as well tonight. And shout out to the Knicks for taking care of business at home and staving off elimination. There will be another game in this series. It will be Game 6 in Indiana on Saturday night. Again, 3.5-point favorites are the Pacers to close that out. We shall see. Things have been odd and strange in this series. You never quite know what you're going to get. The Oklahoma City Thunder, meanwhile, are loving it. They're just sitting back, kicking back, relaxing, and waiting to see who their next prey will be in the NBA Finals. and maybe perhaps we'll find out on Saturday night who that will be. And I am not sure, as I always say, if I can make it for the next show or not, after the next game or not. But I will plan to do my best to get on here regardless of outcome. I guess maybe I'll probably be taking a day off tomorrow, believe it or not. Friday night, no games. I was going to say maybe I'll slide in the afternoon, but I think I'm going to take a day off from the lounge maybe tomorrow. But you guys can hopefully find us here sometime around 10:30 at night on PM on the East Coast in the USA after the game ends on Saturday in Indiana. Until then, everybody in the lounge and Gary, have a great night. Good night and Godspeed from me and from my best friend Luna, and we'll see you next time.